good afternoon, all, good afternoon, everybody. Today is April 3rd, 2022, and this is another edition of Social Media Review. Today, we come again for can talk on the issues where they happen at Sierra Leone, the thing them way the money we people them, the thing them way very, very important. Na Salone, the economy, the way where the things that they go, especially the high cost of fuel, we don't make everything don't dear na frito. And also we go work much again for this cup where they don't build, where they don't come together, where we read Dr. Dennis Bright, they say with the boats, now boat politics now, because people are saying this current president get for go. Because anytime where economic problem come now a country, the economy now the engine, now the life of a country, and where economy not they go right, people can say now the president in fault, now the president in fault, now the president in fault, because the leader takes the blame of everything where they go. Because where things they go wrong, you get for Fenway for fix them. How for fix them, can't to the people, can't talk to the people and tell the people, say, this is what I'm trying to do for give the people a little bit of ease. But we go got much padande again in a little bit. But that introduce me, me guest to you at the studio with me. I get with me as usual, my co-host, Mr. Shilon, Lawyer Shilon. I go tell una I do in a minute, but let we introduce first we guest that we'll get. We get with me Mr. Imran Toure. We know him a voice, a very popular voice on social media, a voice of reasoning, a voice of, even though now he claim say he dey APC, but a man where they in the middle, where he go call him party, where him party wrong, he go talk the wrongs of him party, and he go talk the rights of him party. Same way, so he go praise the current administration, and he go come at them where they know they do well. So this is what I call nationalism. We dey for the country, we dey in the middle, you know, we for try for look at the lens of a whole. And also we get with we, oh my God, Mr. Alan. Mr. Alan has been with us forever. Mr. Alan has been a voice instead in the ground in a free tongue in a voice there where they try for talk for the people, where they try for do things them, and they get boku position they well go tell you, but instead in a little bit I go make themselves introduce themselves who that's not them, and then we go continue the program because we get for talk on these issues. These issues are important to my Muslim brothers and sisters. I say Ramadan Karim. It is the month of Ramadan, the holy month, the second day of the fasting, the month of fasting. Let God give the blessing, let the Almighty Allah give the blessings of the month, lay under the niyat and the fasting and the prayer, lay use and forgive now the greatest of Jannah na go day, because that's the reward we look forward, we abide, we obey, we try for do right by others, and we make for them. And also the Christian, they say this is the month of Lent, the Lent season, they say they fast, both are fasting, Muslims are fasting. That's the importance of fasting. Every religion call for people and for fast, so everybody is doing their obligation to their religion. And so let the Almighty give the blessings of the month, and the one that we're not able, let God give them the blessing too, because we pray for one another, we look out for one another, we make prayer for everybody, we pray for everybody, but we talk again, waiting all right, we pray, we believe in God, but we get for talk on things because now we get for fix them, not to God get for fix them for we. So Mr. Imran, to you, sir, tell what people they are doing, tell them small thing about yourself, sir.
Fambule mina kabo, me na just una brother, me na Sierra Leonean, na ina mi title, na ina mi profession, na ina mi qualification. No say una dey go through Ramadan at this tranga time. May God give una the resilience, because una don't really suffer. Una don't suffer not to today from where with man and Ghana we country. For 150 years una don't suffer. We say we get independence, where me not understand what in independence about it. But still yet, the struggle, still the linger on. And believe you me, the katawa una taught, na God angry now una the manage. But it don't reach them now, where we get for no say not to fast months go down with problem. We get for begin to think critically. We begin to ask ourselves certain questions and begin to use certain tools that we God give we. Like we 5 senses. Because I notice me na Sierra Leonean, and me na one of the one who will not use the 5 senses. We get for begin to use all the senses then they. make we blow up on this business here, we pray. We don't dey pray 150 years with man and pass and pawi. We don't dey pray, we own brother and come take power from 61. The same thing, nothing not change. So it don't reach a time now where we get for come to the realization, say it has to be about us. So now I tell you, thank you again, but I want let we all eye open. Let we watch them carefully and make we do the things that we need for do. Family munakushe.
Okay. Thank you. And so Mr. Alan then a remote area, so when I go see him picture up, when I go hear him voice, but enable talk on the tune, and no say, well, go that then deep side in a salon, we not get internet, but it get service for able to talk. So Mr. Alan, sir, to you, tell the family there, do sir.
Me family una do. I know say una don't they look at me. I don't they show the video. Don't they show usually what they in a VOS. But today is rather unfortunate when I not go see me and my picture no more when I go see because of as we all know we face some serious electricity problem in Salone, which is a very serious problem. I have to actually make mention of that because probably some individuals are not going to talk on this, but we get some serious electricity problem at the capital city of Freetown. And so because of that, and not for that even then at the program, but somebody decided to borrow me in power bank. Now that make I get access for some and me fumble them. Me na Mr. Tubaku Mexico, me na Sierra Leone and this Salone base. Me na person of a proprietor of 2 newspapers. And also, me a human rights activist, a chairman for the Civil Rights Defenders. At the same time, me the president for the Center for Entrepreneurship Development. Me a businessman, me an activist, and me a newspaper person, me a journalist in any way. So, found this now on a brother, yours truly, Mr. Tuboku Mexica, and also a social media blogger. Thank you very much. And I tell you, plenty of people want to get or listen to me.
Mr. Long people, you see how una lucky, forget many brains around here, look can talk on issues, sensible issues. Me not the one woman among them, but still, you know, I respect me gentlemen them, I respect them so much, and I know say they are full of knowledge, full of ideas, full of wisdom, what we can able for use for transform the country. To you, Mr. Shilon, sir, tell the family there.
Hello, everyone. Una all. Hello once again. This, as usual, another interactive participation, our participatory show. So everybody they call live or send in them questions or then comment. So we'll all exchange ideas and hopefully we'll point out how life can be better for the country and for the people and for ourselves. Some of we, even though we not did it. You know, so thank you for listening because I know say everybody busy. You can spend this time one at a take for listen to we for do something else. It's not like you not get anything for do. So we thank you very much for taking up the time. You know, as usual, we get the information at the screen in terms of the numbers for call. So if you pay any particular attention to the screen, you will see the toll-free line, you will see the UK number, you will see the Australia number, you will see the WhatsApp number. So please participate as best as you can. And also, I will make a brief welcoming statement to Mr. Toure, who is one of the guests on the show, because this is the first time meeting, so I just want to welcome her on the show. I know say though kind of viewers before, but it's the first time me and him to be on VOS at the same time. And Mr. Alan Mesga, of course, we've been on the show together, but welcome again. It's been at least a year or longer. So we're glad that you take up time at this time of day in the most remote part of the country. I think all the way somewhere that you take the time for call and participate. So welcome again. So that said, I will go back to Ms. Fadiva.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Imran, I just want to share a secret where Mr. Shilon just love one audio we make. He said, who is this guy? I would like him to be on the show. This is just a thing. Where is it, Mr. Shilon? They tell you, say, this is the first time he really respects your opinion and he love you. He say, I want for him. Today, Mr. Shilon, which don't can too. But with a talk on the first issue at hand, let me talk first. We they see the war, like I was saying, the war they go on, the war they go on, Ukraine, Russia, and it affect everything. It's gonna be a triple effect. It run down to everything, especially Africa. It impact we more because Yana America last week I buy gas $3.95 a gallon for regular, and this week I buy them $3.29, so it don't go down because we government and they buffer and the price of oil in the world safe don't go down. And we own governments in America who say me they can say not for compare, but you know they say reserve make America rich. It don't release in reserve for let oil go there so that if even Russia they want is the price of oil, he waiting a call. We know say Ukraine and then they make wheat and and then they make bread, flour, all them things that they. So all them prices and they don't go up and they rob per we na freedom, na Salone. But we own governments then where we get na Africa, especially Salone where we they feel the pinch, we feel the pinch. And Monday we see a bunch of driver there then decide for strike because petrol now 15,000 a liter. 15,000 a liter, then it go up to they say they want to make it up to 20,000. So the people that strike then come on a door, then they complain. Everything tranga, everything don't dear. And the people and say, why did they put the price up where the gas price don't go down? And we see the governments get up, them people there where they in charge of petroleum. We see that they talk, say, you know, it kind of then they get more petrol, they come and this and all that. But how then they put it down? If the price don't reach 15,000 a liter, the people then pay no raise. Nothing other way the government they do for help them for subsidize for let them able for because we know say we will get subsidy per gas, but this government pull up. And now the people and they suffer the hardship, the tranganess, it boku our people they aid. So Mr. Alan, you then at the ground, we see Monday. Let me play first the audio, the video that what we get. Let me see the crisis, people and they rush for go inside, them big truck, poda no day, this no day, everything kind of come to a standstill on Monday in Africa. So let me play the video quick. I know say Mr. Alan, you don't see him, but you know go waiting. But let me just see no more waiting be happening to Monday in Africa. Per all this gas business where people in the strike, the driver they say no. We are not going to come put where they call power because we not get nothing where they get per then kind thing so. So let we go and let me watch the video then.
Say no bike again, no bike.
No bike, no motor car.
No bike.
Nasi is split. Yeah, because you are so close.
Papa, sur l'autre qui voulait pas oui,
As the arena, how the woman they talk. But car no day, bike no day.
Ken no day, napkin no day.
Because people they suffer. People they suffer. But let us see no one now.
Ready, baby, we're going to say Lord Pastor, the first spanner.
On a see how. On a see. Let us see now what will happen. But let us see no one now. What will happen right now in the country?
Una see no one as you can see. People they load inside container for go at Salone. Imagine Salone. Transport no day. As soon as they see for Mule la joy the episode. People alone are container for going out. People already struggle for transport for good talk. La patrol they will look so. They fight for no patrol. Famula na wacho everybody struggle. Famula na wacho everybody struggle for good talk. But cannot dey. About all people that load so for go for the talk. But cannot dey, bike no dey, keke no dey.
The idea, we don't see how the people, the Mr. Allen, and we are the Minister of Information, Rado Suarego 98.1, and they talk say Guinea there past week, this there, and he and the reporter, when they go back and forth on that issue, they way the reporter they say Guinea then gas cheaper Salone and this and that. And then he also called the people that way strike, he saying a lawlessness. So they don't call the union say no to them, not to they organize the strike. So they label the people them we go out there and strike, the drivers and the keke driver, as lawlessness, and the law go deal with them. And we know say they don't arrest some of them people in there and all that kind of thing in there. So Mr. Allen, you there on the ground exactly, can you give us your own side and opinion of what they go on so right now, sir?
Thank you very much, Madam Fadima. You know, this fuel crisis saga, we don't talk on times without number. Now the social media, we don't turn them back and forth. And make me points now very clear. Probably some people not be able to get some of we on the social media. You see, let's start from the end of the Minister of Information. You know, I was really disappointed in the Minister of Information in response at 98.1. I shall say he himself was embarrassed because you see, sometimes we have to be careful as public officers when we talk to public. When you lie 110, 210, 310, you'll never be regarded. Respect will not be there. And I was not expecting the Minister of Information for go defend something when I lie. Because in actual fact, I am not saying he is lying, but he might be economical with the truth. Because the facts are out there. The world is a closed market. Just by pressing a button, I know exactly what's in the happen in Guinea, Liberia, and all around the world. Then you still find the minister before say we still there. Now that holding days where before say you don't have access anywhere. And the lady in 98.1 continue for tell us say we can do a call. May somebody testify.
Yes.
And immediately after that interview, we read a lot of audios them from Guinea, where they debunk the Minister of Information. And then they even give the prices of fuel. Like it's very easy. You know, Guinea Salone, a very short distance. I mean, everybody get contact in Guinea. So the Minister of Information actually, it was unfortunate on his side. He was supposed to be the mouthpiece of the government, and he was supposed to actually guide the government and say the truth. It's like he embarrassed the government, not to himself, he just embarrassed. He embarrassed the government as a whole. But in any way, not that. Let's come back to the fear stuff. This fear situation, you know, before this failed situation, I think I've been on the release some audio then where people they actually, where I even accused President Bio say he not get a private sector advisor. Because in actual fact, if President Bio get a private sector advisor, It will help them a lot. In most of them issues, then we get a synergy with the private sector. And I say again, if anybody want to help President Bio in the administration, for sour the relationship between the government and the business people, we all see the first lady. Make I just pinpoint on that, because I've been actually address the first lady on this issue when it comes to field saga, because the first lady come after some of the field stations, and they said they all belong to APC. More especially, say NP, APC get APC, the field station, then the sabotage and the President Buhari administration. And I was quick to actually react on that video of the First Lady, because in actual fact, we get a PRA, Petroleum Regulatory Agency, and we get the Ministry of Trade and Industry. Then one there, institutions then where actually they regulate all field business na Salone. And then government appoints. Government not appoint Fatima Bio. And not being seen no need why Fatima Bio actually go into such a topic of talk, whereas that not to be in business. If you want to know anything about that, now that make a man appoints people them where a trust say them for able to handle such a situation. And the mere fact Fatima Bio do that proclamation, then statement, then they. I tell them in the audio tour and say, this it goes sour the relationship between the business people and your money administration is not good. And I tell them, let's take the back seats, because if you don't know of certain issues, you need for consult. But I am sure she was exuberant and quick to talk. At the end of the day, the CEO and NP also being here for debunked and said, no, NP not to AP. NP was sold out to workers of NP, 35 or 36 of them, by a young husband when President Bio. That record was clear. But still, we see people them around when it now APC get now Nescroma get all the field stations in the Salone. I say, are you serious about this? How one man go get all the share now, all the companies in the Salone? But in any way, let's go forward. We're done with that one day. Able to address Fatima beyond that issue there for making no imposition, because in a ceremonial party they play. And not get anything for doing with governance structure in a Salone. That is why the President Bio appoints people then for handle with governance system. All right. We come on say we come to the strike. The day for the strike on Monday, I was sick for the past weeks. And that Monday, then I don't resume duties. I don't dress up. As I go out, people they tell me, say, oh, sorry, they go road not there. But I was, as a media person, I was a little bit curious. I said, no, I need to know why road not there. So I went out. Each junction I reached, I've been blockage. Each junction I reached, outside the bomb tires and all that. There was no passage. So I'm missing not being no alternative, but for turn around and come back home and try to understand what's in the happen. And whereas the reason why them people them say them in the block road and the fuel price, the prices of fuel and all that. But again, how the problem was solved. Now that night amazed me back. I was vexed in my spirit because the way the problem was solved, that was not what I was expecting. Because the people that were strike, these were Okada Keke riders, and now them go block the road, and the motor drivers them. Now them go block the road then. And then people that block their road then concern and their interest was what? For the people, the reduction of prices of fuel. But what happened? The government decide for call on Uda, the dealers, the fuel dealers them, and go and respond to their concerns and try for see how best they can able iron out and agree to certain terms and conditions. And whereas if government don't satisfy the dealers then request, why not government try to respond, satisfy the beneficiaries that now winner where they go buy the fuel 15,000 because the price has not changed, meaning the problem has not been solved. So I do another audio and say, Mr. President, if actually you get sorry out for you people, then the fuel price remain the same 15,000. We expect say that price therefore don't go down. You see, because I mean, look at the we purchasing power in a Salone, minimum wage. You get to look at that. And to date, as we speak, from where we economy done, they go from worst to worst. Salary increment has never been done. Salary remains the same. Minimum wage remains the same. We economy, everything stands still. Then prices and they go up every day. Everything is going up, but salary remains the same. How will they live? Now that make I listen to Imran just now and make a statement where make a laugh. Because nothing is changing, but prices and they go up, then we still there within the same minimum wage, 600,000, which is like $60. Can you imagine somebody they go to supermarket, they go use their $100, they may they use $60 for a whole month. You can imagine that? Maybe probably some people then minimum wage in
Okay.
America, not two hours.
Mr.
The
Alan,
minimum,
all you small bits. All you small bits,
yeah.
la bring Mr. Imran inside. Mr. Imran, like how you don't hear Mr. Tubokumetika, and I know say una can they communicate na them forum them because I can they follow now they listen, and we don't hear the like I said the minister talk on the issue, the President Bill in West talk on the issue, but the president will not hear to the people will get the issue. We not see the president come out yet. What do you think, say? And how you feel, say, with the go par this? How you feel, say, is this government really doing the things of the people and how for solve this problem? Do they have a clue? Because with people and they suffer in silence. So what's in your own take on all what happened this week, especially this Monday, on this real issue, and how the government handle like how Mr. Tubokumetsika don't say this no. You then mute, sir. You then mute.
Well,
Yes.
my sister, you don't push me at the deep end. But before I say
Then I for
anything, I
swim.
want for tell me, brother, thank you. Myself na privilege for dinner the same veranda with them. We people in Africa talk for say family way united and then they eat from the same pan. But I hope say no go eat all the beef namian. So Mr. Shilon, it's a pleasure, sir. When
Thank you,
we dey
sir.
talk, a wonderful wise man na the world where they call Pluto, he say one of the penalty for refusing to participate in politics is that you will end up being governed by someone inferior. You know, Sierra Leone, all man they complain. Me not like politics, I don't want politics. The water where you drink na politics. The food where you eat na politics. Everything na politics. If you they renege in your responsibility for take part in making them decisions, then they. Now that makes Sierra Leone, we are all accomplices, directly or indirectly. We all get to take responsibility. When you see me join the social media and they talk, I don't ever join any political party, it comes to the point now I say, no, I go join by one. No matter how bad them be or how good them be. Because I get for influence waiting they happen in my community. You see, waiting Mr. Meziga talk, he hit some very high notes. And I tell him thank you for that. But certain things then the way I want for let we dig into. One of them, now the fact say people are so disingenuous. People in the life and people in Sierra Leone with impunity. The issue where would they talk about Naya, this petrol price? We know very well for say since this government take power 2018, they're not governed. Then begin a campaign straight away. They not waste time for begin the campaign. So they not pay attention on the issues they would for pay attention. Since when they take power, the dollar they in free fall. And anything where you they buy, including fuel, you they buy them in dollar. So if the money they for them, the money they depreciate. So obviously, whether you not do anything, petrol price they go up every day. Because me they send money for me parents them every month. Any month that the same amount that they send no. Any month where I go send them, they give them hand they plenty pass the one they give them last month. So that means to say the money they for them do a social experiment. If you take $20, not spend the money where you want for come back na America or come back na England. Go back for go change that $20 they back to dollar. It not go reach $20 again. That dollar they for them now we earn. It clearly shows say Now the dollar, now one of the reasons then we make petrol price don't go up. It not get nothing to do with Ukraine. Ukraine just can't exacerbate the problem we already exist. So not to Ukraine. The Ukrainian war, it only happened 24th of February. This petrol business, we don't there on a free fall. The dollar don't there on a free fall. And not to matter bio in animal, the dollar don't begin for them. Now the usual occurrence that na Sierra Leone. But it's just that under Mother BOE umbrella, the thing don't worsen. Since where it take power, now everything don't turn to something else. Everything don't worse. Things don't chronic. So, what do we talk about now? The petrol, dear, 7,000 of the money what they take for buy petrol, they go on tax. Why is that so? Why the taxation on the petrol? Almost half of what you they pay for petrol. Now tax. And not up on petrol no more. Even when they go to Sierra Leone, if you notice, you can travel go Guinea a lot cheaper. The ticket cheap. You can travel for go na Gambia. It's very cheap because then taxes them. The landing taxes very cheap for go na Gambia and Guinea. In fact, a lot of Sierra Leone and not they pass Sierra Leone again for go Guinea. Then they pass either Guinea or Gambia. And then they make the country they lost money. That they make we country economy they weak. What's wrong with we people like that Salone way they not they use the marbles na their aid. Recently, one full apago go talk to governor. Make him tell people like for say qualification only make you intelligent. If you fool before you go school, you go get qualification back, you still fool. This business of now that's make in Canada in place there. I don't want to talk about the qualification. I don't want to talk about what's in a be, what's in a not be. The qualification mean a Sierra Leone. And they stop. The problem what we get now, we get a first lady. We don't know the difference between the elbow and the wrist. But we get a serious problem where if something they go wrong now with country, we are so clannish, we are so tribalistic because people can mix up the meaning of the word tribalism. Tribal means group. If you're not team in a group. If you're not APC in a group. If you're not SLPP in a group. If you're not soldier in a group. You find out for say we get groups now we country. We're so loyal to their own group that then they take total disregard of other group. And we are very extremist in that mentality there. To an extent, if Timniman lie, to the Timniman and not to lie. Not true. Man lie, to the men to lie. Now that's make a glad the way this consortium. Me now one of the man with them cost all over social media because I tell them say let we get a coalition. But the question now is, these are the best thing will ever happen in our country. Is this coalition genuine? Are people sincere? Because you cannot have a correlation if there's no sincerity. Even this issue of petrol, what they talk about now, we are not talking about the issue. Everybody, and Ukraine. How dare you, Minister of Information, can't tell people and say na Ukraine. Ukraine business when are the because I read them about them, they call Ukraine say crane. So this crane business here now you can make petrol here all of a sudden. No, the petrol on there from 2008.
The problem,
from
yes.
It just don't get worse now na this time here. It don't bad up for this time. Sometimes when things they go wrong, take responsibility. Take responsibility. Put your hand, say we get it wrong. The policies, they're not good. The politics, they're wrong. Taxation is too much. The dollar, they fall. What are we going to do to improve that? But they don't want to do nothing about it. So, they make a screen. And what is the smoke screen? The smoke screen is one of the symptoms. But now they... Hello? I still a break?
I say you broke up. You break up the internet. Not to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
go ahead.
You know, when you get this kind of situation here, where we so dishonest, We so tribal. If you not APC, if APC lie, not to lie. All the APC people left. I not lie. I not lie. Where SLPP lie, SLPP not they lie. Whose kind culture this? We culture too extreme. Any country where the people are not in the middle, they call them liberal. How many liberals? I hear me brother they talk this, they talk about you don't have to curse somebody because you disagree with them. Now because we are extreme people them, now make who disagree, you not my enemy. You will get somebody you tell them I do for 40 years. One day you not see him. He look at me, yeah, he make like he not see me. Ow, I do na osusu. We all tell each other I do. What's wrong where you not go tell me I do for a change?
Yeah.
So it is this rigidity,
Yeah.
this extreme belief say you get for be loyal. Now you group to an extent, you go make policies them, you go do things them for benefit to your group at the expense of all those around you. Now that's make petrol
Okay,
in our country.
Mr.
We
Imran.
leader the no one for. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, like how you say they're not taking responsibility and then they try to push the blame, because that's what I hear a lot of times when they talk. They're pushing the blame. Oh, not this. Oh, not to win no more. All not the world. The problem is what is hurting Sierra Leone people, Mr. Shilon. The thing is within the life of the people. You were not elected to rule Ukraine or Russia or whatever. How you go fix the problem for buffer the things of the people? We hear taxation, and it is so true, because when at a fly come, if you look at your ticket, the taxes are more than the price of the ticket itself. That is a fact. That is true. I have noticed it, and then the taxes are high, and when they come and then they take away subsidies. We took away subsidies from the people. What subsidies do is to buffer and help the government. They try for filling some of the money because we don't have the spending power in Sierra Leone. And so government subsidize on things. But we know say when the world want give you money, they want they give you, they say, oh, you get for do this, and you get for do this. And this president will come because he been get ambition for do so many things. It took away the subsidy without thinking of the repercussion where it will get on the people. And all the other money that we don't can now, in order even impacts the life of the people, Mr. Shilon, to use this petrol issue. How we go try for come up at this? Because how you see the government, how you go grade the government on this issue? Because Mr. Imran said not to today begin. Yes, not to today begin, but the previous administration had a thing in place, a buffer in place when are subsidies. But from the subsidies come out, it go, the price just they go, and the people are suffering because they don't have it. We go here and say, Usa if I buy 2 bread, now na 1 bread you they buy. Usa if I buy 5 cup rice, now na 3 cup rice you they buy, because money not there, things not there, these people are suffering. The life of the individual, that's what matters. Mr. Shilon, to you, sir, I pass it to you. How you see this government they do for this thing, where they go on right now for this petrol business?
Well, thank you very much, Miss Fadima. You know, I always take a broader view about the problem in Sierra Leone, because like Mr. Toure said, nothing started just yesterday. It's a continuing trend where we now seem forget the intellectual capacity and the intellectual fitness for be able to tackle serious problems, particularly economic problems, let alone political problems. And I talk like political problems such as, to me, if we get 17 tribes in Sierra Leone, now one leader cannot belong to all 17 tribes. This is one example. So you belong to a tribe, but you're not elected as president of a tribe. You're elected as president of all the tribes of the country. So when you come to power, you for make sure, see, now you cabinet, you get the intellectual fitness of appointees who will come up with ideas as to how to solve problems, how to make the government an efficient government. But to me, when you avoid that, you make everything tribalistic. I call that the intellectual laziness, because you know the only way they put the intellect into into the creative mode, because these are problems that are solvable. And the thing that can frustrate me sometimes, we cannot keep talking about racism, talking about the white man and discrimination, but we practice the same thing in different form. So when Mr. Toure talk about group, that group mentality is killing us. But the irony of all of it, even when the APC man not go see anything wrong with APC, SFP not go see anything wrong with SFP, Minde not go see anything wrong with Minde. The reality is, statistically, not a single group, regardless of the leadership, benefits from corruption. No one would tell me when APC was in power, since the leader came from the north, the northerners had a higher standard of living than the southerners and the easterners. Northerners were suffering just as well and just as much. Under the current government, you are fooling yourself if you begin to think that because you're in a Minde, it's okay. You are suffering and you contribute to the destruction of future unborn generation. We therefore look past this group mentality, because wrong or right come in one form only. Wrong is wrong, right is right. It no matter whether the perpetrator. Now that self-discipline they we not get. And until we get them, we go always misdiagnose the problem. So, and like Mr. Toure say again, we can pray all we want. We get all the instrumentalities in our hand. God don't give it. In fact, in political science, they say a country has the leadership it deserves. So if we not try for engage ourselves in critical thinking and look past the group mentality and keep making the same, because the definition of insanity, now where you keep repeating the same mistake over and over. So if people then go begin for be critical in the thought process, no wait till think more like now, before we begin for say there is a problem. And with respect to the other two, Mr. Toure talk about qualifications. Now, one of my biggest disappointments that one day. Me no say, we'll be small, we can do bite game with the pick American and can call them pickup game. We'll go for kickball in a treat, we can bite 20 cents or 2 shilling. Even you will not have to play ball. If now you get a 2 shilling, when you put your 2 shilling against the other team, you pick the best people and who to have at the side for putting on your team.
Yes.
You don't pick them by themselves. You don't say, come in a team, or no, you won't win. So I don't know.
You want to invest because you don't invest.
But you see how education don't take away with intelligence and with common sense, because naturally it comes to it instinctively that you want the best on your team. But these guys come to power, all of a sudden, they say, now one tribe. All of a sudden, now just PhDs. All of a sudden, experience no matter. And it hurts the country. This is what we've been saying. It hurts the country. Fitness comes in many forms. Some people, they forte now experience. They've done something for so long, they may not have their academic qualification, the paper on the wall, but believe me, they get what it takes to make things run efficiently. And last but not least, let's look at the situation. This is not self-analysis, because if you want to try for the progressive or for help yourself naturally, you get to see what you own for before you begin even to make progress. Now, what you would need for do, we need for begin for understand that, like Americans then can say in the South, we ain't going nowhere unless we try for CC, we for grab the bull by the horn. So I'm trying to be as objective as I can. So now if the political parties, they all don't come together, because then people say they get a common opponent, may not go use the word enemy, because I hope let we try not for make your political opponent your enemy. But by we thinking, that's so we look at, but we for try for rise above that. But if the political parties then don't come together and thinking that, yes, it is wise for take away one government legally, constitutionally, then they will put egos aside because any group forget leadership. We see that happen in Gambia. Then pick among themselves, and Gambia then bring in a fresh face. Mr. Barrow will be there, England, the managing life. Okay, not to like Dabo, then lawyer Dabo, then will be the deep in politics for 40 years. Because me thinks after a while, if you don't tip on the game too long, you reach a point in economics which is called diminishing returns. If you don't depend on politics 40 years, then you finally gain power. All you could do now for try to make up for lost time. The country not to your interest anymore. You see? So these are some of the things, the observations then.
So let me bring Mr. Alan in. Let's jump to another thing. Since when I don't talk, you said don't talk about COP, Mr. Mr. Alan, the COP. Because 2017-18, I may begin Allah in politics, Salone politics, although we all been talking a corner, but it's like was that shift that came into the atmosphere. People that we don't abandon Salone because me go say maybe don't give up on Salone idea and all that kind of stuff that we begin talk back inside this thing. And one of the things where a lot of us been called for, when we see 14, 15 party then come out. I say if everybody can just come together and fet one strong fet, then can able beat that and then an APC be in power. But it failed. And the opportunity to me was then. Will they be able to pull it in 2023? Because June 2023 is the other election. And one of the biggest fear where a lot of us get, and Mr. Imrado Echo again today, is the egos, the selfishness. And we see the biggest party where they inside this coalition is APC. First of all, APC gets the young kuskas inside themselves. They still in a court, and still they drag, then still they waiting in court. How this COP go able for gather in less than 1 year for able win an election for of seats this president where they now because the mission here they say that with a vote because of them get the reason and why they say they don't want this president again because of the human injustice, because of the bastardization of the constitution, and the third one I don't even forget the human rights violation and all that stuff. But I mean, will they be able to pull it off, in your own opinion, Mr. Allen, as you see and they go out and they go? Will all these minds, all these brains, all these egos, all this testosterone, because now one woman no more see among them, maybe they get one or two, will they be able to sit back and say, okay, we give the person we're competent enough for go win the election? Because again, they say politics na number. So is it the number or is it the person that is competent? How will they pick the leader for this COP team? And do you think they will put a woman in there? Mr. Allen, to you, I give 3 minutes low. Let everybody go get time for me. Just try for quiz inside there for Visa.
Madam Fadima, this COP issue, me Imran don't fit with this COP issue. I don't fit with a lot of people in the social media with this COP issue because I'm not impressed and I am not perplexed about the whole situation, because taking a look at this COP issue, the first thing that comes to mind regarding the COP is the sincerity and interest. First and foremost, how many of them then at the COP? Each of them party there get an interest, and don't make their interest known to each other. Do they have a memorandum of understanding? Waiting at the interest. Second, they talk about the sincerity. The sincerity is whereas probably in there the ego they show up. This is not the first time then they come together, say may them form a consortium or forming a coalition. I vividly remember before 2018 election, they attempted it. The late president, J.J. Rawlings Nagana, facilitated that. Together with Dr. Yum Keller, Sam Sumana, and others, even Charles Magai. They were all in Ghana. They discussed it and all that in the day. An independent person facilitated that. Unfortunately, they not be able to get an headway. Ego come inside and order for take the lead. Well, similarly, I don't know if the same thing will show them. People realize each of them political party there gets their constitutions in. Now, Dr. Yum Keller would like to be the president. Waiting make her ask, waiting at their interest. Is it Mama Salone? As the
Okay, I think we'll
interest
get problem with Mr.
or not the
Alan line.
individual political party.
We'll get problem with Mr. Alan in line. Um, let me go to you, Mr. Imran. You're not one of the voice women they call on coalition. Coalition, because maybe feel said the missed opportunity was 2018. That was the time it was hot, and I think that was the moment that we have missed. But they don't come back again. They say they get coalition. And the egos and the sincerity, who that go bow for who that's go, is it for love of country, is it nationalism or individualism or partyism? We don't know. And APC are the biggest party, and we see the former flag bearer, the noise there whether they make, they want they always be no one or we aspire for be flag bearers on the APC, but then we see a small group of the other one, them some of the name we don't know. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Alan, back.
I say, look, you don't come back.
Oh, okay, Madam, Mr. Alan, hold on 1 second.
Madam Fadima, you see,
you found a break. Oh, Paul. Mr. Alan, if you can sign out and come back in, that would be good for us, sir. While Mr. Alan, please sign back out and come back in. And Mr. Imran, while we wait for Mr. Alan for completing sentence, you go ahead, sir, because you say you're not one of the voices of the court. Will it work? Politics the number. How will they do it? That is the question.
Anything on this earth, if una true to una self, una sincere to una self, una put the effort in, it's a possibility. And for me, nobody no go deny say this is one of the best things that ever happened within the Sierra Leonean community, because we see what's happen at Lancaster House, where they go fight with each other. Salone people, and we get a culture where any side will meet up, Mamaridu, plabadi for dog, Pamberino, plabadi for dog. Any side where we meet, Italic for say we na dog them where they go meet na them backyard dirty box for fight for Bungaid against each other. But this is the first time where they not do a co-op beer yard. They do a front door. The only thing is the other day, just like waiting, my brother they talking about Mr. Shilon, we have to be careful the kind of language them what they use, because I agree Dr. Bright, when I one of the guy them way at the moment, he's doing extremely well. And I like the stance the way they take. Mrs. Claudius Cole, me had to her. She's doing very well. And now people them way don't show clearly say them once for make we country strong. But that word way they use boat game. Pancreo, we know what they call boat. Boat that's something where get for do with on equalness, on fairness. How 2-3 person they go join up for beach person. That is not the right word. Then get ususu, then get awujo, then get engaged group, then get a cooperative group where they work together as a family, make them engage and go able to get a consensus, not about game. This is not about voting another person. When you vote another person, you hib and dumb. Inside go find your own people and come for can't vote yourself. We are not talking about that kind of coalition. We talk about people and for come together, engage. And you see, I be listen to one Congolese professor. He said, you don't know what will happen with Africans. As we learn book, so not they share again. Before we learn book, what will people have not be go school? Anything what they do, the elders and they engage. Even if they go for go married, then get a tumbling block. then find a difficulty, something stick up. Pass your read and say time out. So that means to say, Lord go engage. Then they go nado, then go talk on the issue, then come back inside where they can and say we don't come with already. They don't come with an understanding where now a consensual understanding where all agreeable because they are all stakeholders. And where Africa Malambuk then just believe say then get for take power, then get for seize power. That method where in British man bring Canada we country. Because now British man bring that habit they where they can occupy we country. Because Mr. Kadwe, when I in be the governor, now be army, all the district commissioner, they all now be military people there. They were none of them were trained to for the administrative people them. So everything about strength by force. So now that legacy they left, and what we brought at in camp, now that legacy they themselves don't take. Where there's a big book where you want to talk, say, Epa, this year, not also blandoam. What do you sabi? What do you understand? But do you realize, say, if you na a captain, na a ship, you the cruise na water, if that boat the boss, you the captain, not they know, now the people are already at the deck, now then go see the hole. Now they go tell you, say, pa, the boat don't boss so. If you know they work with them people and the way they under, you're not gonna be a successful captain. So what if they try for talking here is, if they wanted this thing here work, it go work. But first and foremost, any side we una get for know the modalities. And what are the modalities? In a coalition, you get what they call proportional representation. When you go inside it, when elections take place, then divide the votes, the person will get the majority, now go form the government. And that person then now for show that magnanimity. Now that's make them for sit down now then talk properly. What are these modernities? Then for be fair with each other.
Well, that is what we are saying here. It is good to mobilize. It is good to mobilize coalition. It is good. Coalition is good because coalition is like different people. Then so one person not get central power, but at the same time they get proportion. Will it work? That is the question. How genuine
it will work.
Because this process, a lot of people are tired. Even inside the party, I want we listen to an audio quick, Mr. Imran. Mr. Alan, I don't know if you don't come back again. But I want we listen to an audio quick.
Madam Fatima, there. One quick one before you play that audio. One quick one. We all remember 2007. Charles Francis Magai decided for work with the APC, then get some common understanding. At the end of the day, we see that APC being given some ministerial position or deputy ministerial position to Charles Magai. How it all ended. Sometimes the sincerity, we see what's happened at the Gambia. I always see people that make mention of Gambia. We know say Gambia then do their own, but there was still problem, because even Adama Barrow at the end of the day, go by the agreements, set agreements. He decided for flout most of the agreements where they get. So we're not going to forget that as well. It's good to make reference to them, but there were also challenges. Now that make most of the time in consortium or coalition, people have to be sincere with what they put on paper. Because some people, and then for me, they just get the power, they don't care about you. Forget say, they talk with a lot of people around regarding this consortium. Some people then they make mention say, oh, APC just want to get rid of NGC. These are some of the things said out there. Because at the end of the day, there's an APC, nine squeeze Dr. Yunkela, nine bring passport business, this that on top Dr. Yunkela. How so soon APC and Dr. Yunkela they don't come together? I say that I don't know. I say so about APC and SA people said Dr. Yunkela for go. They will not tell you that. So in actual fact, this consortium are still insist say how sincere are they? I cannot say they are sincere. Even Imran they continue to say yes, they are sincere, but sincere, Imran, what do you know
about
the
I did not say that. Don't misconstrue my statement. Don't misconstrue.
You say it will work. You say it will work. That means for say you trust the process. For me, I don't trust the process. I don't trust politicians.
We continue, Mr. Alan. I think
let about in quick. Make a button here quick. You see, we get a problem now with culture. I can always go pan with culture. Even for management, the same management culture. We get for fix them, we attitude. Sierra Leone will get problem with emotional immaturity. We cannot go all the time, they go backwards. We get for look forward. If you look at the world, I have been making comparative analysis. There are countries in the world where always get correlation, like Italy, India.
Israel.
India are the biggest democracy in the world. We all know about the modernity. People into account. We say, we are not accepting this. If it is meant to be A, it should be A. And in that decision day, we the citizens, we all get responsibility. We all get stake in that. Because this is our lives these people are dealing with. When things go bad, Timni man they suffer, Mende man they suffer, Loco man they suffer, Creole man they suffer.
Exactly.
Me picking go suffer, you picking go suffer, all man picking go suffer. So waiting with the talk about Naya, Mr. Alan no go they carry go back behind. That mistake with Charles Magai, let it out there. Let we turn to a new page. Now, for the first time, we get a correlation when the
you agree with me. So now you go agree. Now you go agree with me. Say,
let him finish.
Let's give.
Can you agree with me that Dr. Yumkela should be the leader for the consortium? Because a new face. Because you know what
you know sabi politics. You don't understand politics. Can the Yumkela one person not they make a decision? Not to me go make that decision there.
This are they say. Because I listen to Mr. Shilon. I listen to Mr. Shilon. I listen to Mr. Shilon.
Now you're not a junior partner.
Okay, let one talk at a time. Let one talk at a time.
You know what Pluto say? I want to give you
Let one talk at a time.
Pluto say, he say, he who does not desire power is fit to hold it. He who does not desire for power is fit for hold it. That means to say, person we're not angry for power. He fits for be a leader. Person we're not mago for power. Now he forgive power. This thing what they talk about now, so we not go begin a bit gun. They say, "I swear for be, I swear for be." We are in this.
Okay, let me give
union.
Mr. Alan himself time to talk quick. Then Mr.
All right, so Mr. Imran, Mr. Imran, I take me time listen to Mr. Shilon where even they give and take. Mr. Shilon make and clear and name to we say. I mean, sometimes it's better for get rid of the whole phases and get new phases on board. And this consortium, if you take a look at all the parties involved, the new phases are who? Madam Cole, Dr. Yumkela, and Huda again. I think these are the only two new phases. All right? Because if you bring Dr. Samura Kamara inside there, he's been in our economy for about 45 years. And Sierra Leone is about 60 years old. So what is it that Dr. Samura Kamara they can contribute within 5 years, when not be not contribute in 45 years? So in this consortium, do we give an opportunity to Dr. Yumkela or to Madam Cole?
Well, we go sit there and wait until they are because it's
before they go I need for correct Alan. When you talk for say Samura don't day.
Well, 1 minute, 1 minute, Mr.
5 years. That's in 1974. Samura be there FBC in a college. It's not nice for them when they come with the and talk with authority. Just talk.
Go back to in profile. Go back to in profile.
FBC University College.
There are video footages. There are video footages on that.
Responsible.
There are records on that. There are records on that.
First of all, we they argue.
1974. Go back. Multiply.
Let me say this.
I don't need to go back. I take it from the horse's mouth. Dr. Samura himself said he don't know our economy for about 45 years. That was what he stated.
Okay.
He has made that statement on several occasions on television and several other.
Well, whosoever said it as exaggerated.
In as much as Samura Kamara is very popular, Dr. Samura Kamara very popular and all that, but we don't know even in fact. Right now, in fact, leads in a limbo because they get criminal charges when they bring against them, and we don't know their fate. So we get
we tell us,
idea.
Madam Fadima, Madam Fadima, 1 second. The APC is a powerful institution. They are more than magicians. If you go through the social media, they listen to the social media, the APC still they talk say that not a case. Dr. Samura is going to be, it's like the Papa syndrome. Dr. Samura is going to be the APC flag bearer and is going to be the president 2023. That one way they talk, APC not sabi that one day. The APC don't believe in those criminal things.
Well, to be honest, you are being very disingenuous here. This is political dishonesty.
A cloud is over his head. There is a cloud over Samura Kamaya A. Can we be looking at other people that might be?
Well, there is no cloud on his head. There is no cloud on his head because to start with, demanding a court without any evidence. Because they have not given any proper evidence. The country where are they? Before they go to court, you get what they call the crown prosecution.
But
the
Mr.
crown prosecution, and then the way they can see if there is
you are not a legal. You are not a legal.
Where is the evidence?
You are not a legal person. You should be not
justice system. We know the history of our justice system. They can put case now you add even when you don't get case. So let me keep that.
If it is wrong, it is wrong. Let's all condemn it. Let's just don't encourage it. Because by us saying it as we are saying it.
You know when people
you're not supposed to put case in a person in the head. I don't care who that they. You know they talk in support and they talk say if something is right as Mr. Shilon say, it's right. If it is wrong, it is wrong.
Yeah, we not deny that. But what they say, election is about number. Samura Kamara get the number right now because it will not be former. But what they say, if the coalition comes together and want to put a person out there, therefore begin think about other people, and because Samura Kamara has a cloud that has not been cleared, and these people that are in governance and with Salone politics and court business, we know how they operate. They will delay and drag so to the time where una not go able to regroup and what they cause the damage to Samura Kamara. So Uda else, therefore begin think. That's why I say, should they be thinking about somebody else that will bring the number where they want for offsets this government? That's the question I'm asking. And I threw to you, Mr. Shilon, 2 minutes because let me move on to the other video. They want the one for please. Then we will come back to another time.
Thank you very much, Ms. Fadima. Make us start off, Mr. Ture say, language is important. The words are important. I agree. Both, when you say, when you go both you, it gets a negative implication. So I agree for say, we're not for use the word both. There are many other words we can use. We can unite, we can get together. Without that, so many other things. So I agree with the word both. Maybe the need for abandon the word both, because both now for the end now for overpower somebody and punish them. But they think then again, some of the arguments we would make, Naya, let us look at it this way. If COP then come to power, they together, if they are sincere. Well, okay, the other thing I want to agree before I forget with Mr. Ture, because Ms. Fadima, you know, I don't argue that point over and over because people then say, oh, na two-party. It's not possible for third party. And what do I always say? There is no such thing as impossibility. We do too many things in our lifetime. Things we never dreamed will ever happen. Black president in America and on and on and on will not happen. I don't know why we think things are so impossible. Just because a country, no matter of how you formulate your thoughts and how you sell your ideas, now in the lead to possibilities and realities. So me not share that view that nothing is impossible. Salone is not that difficult for govern. Now selfishness make will not be able to do what you want for do.
Yep.
The point I want for making that is just plain and simple. Now common sense. If they all come together, first order of business, now for set ground rules. Ground rules. Okay, how are we going to comport we safe? What are we going to? Nobody enough for kind of would preconceive idea say, me and the big dog. Now me for be the president. If they start that, you're not going to go anywhere. What they need to do, everybody forget equal opportunity. Okay, so if me, I get me little party, when 50 people are not more join me party, but I join una, the big dogs, we for be given equal opportunity for present why we think say we want to be the leader or the president of this new group. So if me with those 50 man of my party get the power of persuasion, get a better vision, you know, I can articulate my idea, I may have to end up being the people's man. So Samura Kamara, Yom Kelao, all these guys, once they come into the mix, everybody for be of equal standing. When I set in a grand rule, tell we how now are you? What to make you feel, Mr. Samura? Say you go be a better leader. Tell what your vision. How you see Sierra Leone? What now your vision for this country? Have you been to the mountaintop? What do you see? Have you look left? Have you look right? Mr. Yom Kela, tell me why you feel. I mean, people are not stupid. At the end of the day, then go pick what I didn't think. But now if we begin to think, say, oh, Samura Kamara for B, Yom Kela for B, I think that's Americans think is say
Premature.
step in the wrong foot. I think we should leave that out. Now, so me see.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, mobilization is good for coalition. I know say we get a caller. Let me just bring the caller in because I want to play a video. Let the caller hold on 1 second. Then I play the video. Let me panelists, the people in the panel, they think of what they for say. Let me play Mrs. Bio in video quick what he say because we talk on this co-op and Mrs. Bio talk on 2023 because now in the campaign now steadily for 2023 for SLPP for let them come back. Una listen to Mrs. Bio, Mrs. Fatima Bio, please. Then I will take the caller. Then I come to my panelists. Then.
How will we do? But then, when we pass 2023 now, when we don't pass 2023, we now need to make sure say we do the right thing for the people of this country. Yes. We do what the people are asking us to do. Yes. We focus. We now live on with selfishness then. Then when they were there within the party where they feel say it only get for be them, we get for tell them say no, please. You enjoy your time.
So it say when them begin for work for the people then after 2023. We will come back to that. Let me go to a caller. Caller, good evening. What's in your name and who's you call from, please? Hello, caller, good evening. What's in your name and who's you call from, please?
Yeah, good evening.
Hello, caller, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
now I can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Good. My name is Abdullah Sisi and I call from New Jersey, US.
Yes, Mr. Abdullah, my brother. Go ahead, sir.
Great job, the panelists, Mr. Shilon, Mr. Imran, Alan, and of course, Madam Fadima. Yeah, the main reason we are called on the COP and the seeming struggle for identify who that would head the COP. Yeah, first of all, I'm happy with Mr. Shilon, lawyer Shilon, and Imran with the point. We counter the opinion of Mr. Allen that referring to the impossibility of things. I mean, me a person way before this time I did think that way, but in the past decade, and I don't 100% know say nothing of the way not possible in life. I think you get a better way for see you don't know the solution, but that doesn't mean the solution not exist. So that now one. So that thought of whether it happen at Gambia or not possible at Salone, we don't happen. One thing we're very prominent at the fact say there has been the thought of people coming together, political parties coming together in Sierra Leone for oust a sitting government. But this is unprecedented. This COP thing, I mean, whether you like it or not, a lot of reasons they follow, we believe, say it's totally different from the previous ones. Yeah, in many, many senses. But before I even get into that, the question of saying, oh, Yunkela is better, this is better, first we need to ask ourselves why we decide to come together. And if we decide to come together with 3, with 4, now because we don't see values in each other. I don't know say you get heavyweight, but with me on small weight, if I add to you, we can able to do the right thing. And in addition to that, and obviously we need to confuse already Mr. Shilon and Mr. Emmanuel talk on that, or would that for be the leader this time? That will be determined by after they don't set up the ground rules and within the majority will say. I know see people then confused say, oh, Mkelana the best leader amongst them and this Samuel Kamara get clouds, he get this, he don't do it. It's the coming together of them political parties here. It's not about would I be done in our politics for 45 years, would I be done there for how many years? No, we're talking about comparing what we find we safe into now and who's how we the head for. And okay, I would another person there. So today, if Charles Magai, the Sierra Leonean people think that Charles Magai is a better option, it can as long as we move away from USA we find we have today, a better for all Sierra Leoneans. So let we know the oblivious of the fact say within the COP, I don't care how capable other leaders can be, the strongest group in our APC. And in a fact, whether you like it or not, and then get the larger population, or see the COP work together. And this no go ever beat APC. APC go can second if SLPP end up for win the election. I mean, that's not fact. We know if we overlook them facts then they, in the process we try to determine a better option. So let we not say, Samuel Kamara not so a better leader compared to Yumkela or so. If the ground rules were then set up by these members of the COP, they end up at the end of the day, like Mr. Shilon rightly said, let them give them the opportunity for talk to the people then. Let the people then say, I mean, APC, but I feel say Yumkelana the right person for head this COP. Or me, na NGCO, but I feel say Samuel Kamara for several reasons get a better chance for out this sitting government na election. So let we give them the chance. So people thinking of, oh no, this person capable, this not capable. Necessary this time. What's necessary now for let we even come together and set up those ground rules. Whether them will be sincere to each other, it begin from the ground rules we then set. The ground rules then will be best as the outcome of the everything we the COP stand for. If they set up weak rules, then the outcome will be weak. If they set up better ground rules, I'm telling you, will surprise for the members of the okay. So in as much as not to APC, but I feel saying I'm incapable, let we give the opportunity for it. I will call back anyway.
Mr. Abdullahi. Thank you, Mr. Abdullahi. Thank you, Mr. Abdullahi. That's a very good one. I mean, let we give the chance because it has never happened, but anything where you look at there's possibilities. Sometimes we don't make a mistake, but then the question, do we learn from our mistakes? But then when group of people come together, this is a whole bunch of people, and they therefore set their laws and set their guidelines and pick the best among them, order them, field and strategize among them and present unto the people. We all mean a nationalist. So I go there be in corp because cooperation is everybody coming together. I will stand behind them, for say, okay, I did be in corp, but let them put themselves together first. But let me go to another caller before we go to that video we'll play of Mrs. Bio. Caller, good evening. What's your name and who say you call from, please? Hello, caller, good evening. What's your name and who say you call from?
Yeah, good evening. Amina Lamin.
Good evening.
Hello?
Hello, Lamin. Yes, Lamin, go ahead. From where?
Yes, Madam Fadima. I just want to tell you thank you for this wonderful program. What you see as far as this COP is concerned, a very good idea. Because two of them will oldest parties there, they don't rule the country for quite some time. So I believe as far as this idea is concerned, very good because one party and the other they don't care. We see how then they set up the government. Then feel like the incumbents now. You find out the majority of the people way they benefit and from the southeast. Say APC come, the one that say get for benefits, mostly West Northerners, So of course this no ever the country go anywhere. You see, so at least an idea for come together whereby at least we go consider ourselves as Sierra Leoneans, either party A, party this, It don't make sense. You see, because for now we even get other people that we get smart ideas, them we get knowledge, you understand, for go this country go before. But because then they perceive them, say they're not Southeasterners or they're not support SLPP, it's very difficult for me them bring them come in, at least for push that country they go before. So this my very, very, very good idea. We at least if God able help. I know they pray. Now we all continue for the prayer because for prayers, you know, the type anything. We know say there issues that don't they happen. At least they're not come out good. But at least this one is unprecedented because looking at the time when they set up this thing, up to this time, they still they together. So believe say yes, with we own prayers them out there, you understand, we're able to help for medicine go say reason. For say this time, this ego business, you know, a doctor, you know, this, you know, that, you understand, or put aside or somebody did only for 40 something years. And not necessary. Because all me they see, you understand, if you're not at that top, that you might be getting some good ideas when you present to whosoever they are at the head. And left to the person for make they accept or not accept. You see? So I believe we will just continue for the prayer. At least let God help our country there. At least let us see some kind of positive changes. So I tell you, thank you, Madam Fadina.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you. Let me go to this video I play where Mrs. Bill say, my question to Una, the panelists, I will go with you, Mr. Imran first. The question to Una is, Mrs. Bill say now that they can begin do the work of the people in 2023, and they want they will be there inside the SLPP. That means say all they want they will work for the government, will be they bad that and selfishness. They get for come in line. So what is this video telling you here? What in your influence? What do you get from this video? Because I mean, I see I hear Bokutin inside there, but now I'm put word na you mouth. I hear Bokutin inside this audio where Mrs. Fatima Bio make. But what do you take from what you hear? He said the president in WEF talk. Now this gathering where they be did last week.
I hear plenty mix up inside that talk day. But before I go inside that talk day, I want for beg you like thief something small for add and waiting we deal with earlier. You know, when they talk about coalition, you get to think about democratic principles. And democratic principles always, everywhere where you go in the world, now the biggest majority in any form of government. In any coalition, I go yet to be challenged by anybody who go tell me for saying a minority the form government. So this question where people they bring, it is not even essential because in any coalition all over the world, now Italy, now India, now the person will get majority, and that is a basic fundamental democratic principle where we not get for play with or we get for do play with. But let we just say to ourselves, say, in a situation where people in the engage, because Mr. Chilam go agree with me, where
Mr. Mesga,
SLPP, where Samilti Magai died, the deputy prime minister was Kandebure. Kandebure relinquish. He abdicate. Now he say, he no want. He get Albert Magai. Now he call for Albert Magai. So it don't happen before Sierra Leone. How do we know, say, somebody not go advocate and give somebody else in this occasion? We don't know. We allow natural progression to take place because things they evolve in that process. They will not begin to try for steer trouble by certain things and what they say. We got to be very careful. Now make we case then a court, then they not they allow people for discuss about it. Now we left the COP, make them do the negotiations. Let us patiently. But when it comes to Fatima a own issue, now yeah, Fatima already don't admit say they don't work. They don't admit say they don't fail. And as usual, do you think we get the patience for wait for another 5 years? Make the carcass sit on the back and do the same mistake? Which guarantees do we have after 5 years when they don't waste the people in time? Don't put the people in true nimisa, true pain, true hardship. He get the guts for Kantima before them. They make short frivolity of statement I find her very, very distasteful. In fact, she's not a first lady, because who is a first lady? A first lady in a ceremonial position. You are not elected. Who that give you the authority for Kankan team up? They talk rubbish. So far I'm concerned, she's just a militant, and militancy is something where for discourage. And I feel to say the opposition party then get for really challenge this practice here, because now any country in the world, the first lady is non-partisan. She's not elected. So she's that national figure, what would they call Combra, we born twin them, we go fend away, forgive all man Bobby fairly. But this lady clearly not sure say he get the inclination for do that. And all them thing they create that atmosphere. You see, we can look certain things them, we say, oh, because it not affects me. Me not APC or me not SLPP. Just like how Mr. Shilon talked earlier. Bad is bad, good is good. Let we not just sit down there, we look things and they happen. We not ever happened before now we country. Sierra Leone a very conservative society. Very conservative. And Sierra Leone use for this business here, for me to elect somebody as a president, then he can become vice president. It is wrong. It is not acceptable. I'm not interested in what he say, and I don't feel to say anybody for be interested in what he say. She's doing in a position of militancy, and militancy nothing where they brew resentment, they create an inflammation, and all them toxicity there. Now they don't know we country where there is so much hate, so much bitterness. So now we they wait for the next president for come. When he self come, he wife go talk say Fatima be doing. So he go come quadruple.
Mr. Allen.
What Fatima they do now. So now he make if it's wrong now, this president here we got to stop her right there. Because we don't want another president for come. I don't care whether na APC, I don't care whether na NGC. We did not vote for her. We did not elect her as a spokesperson. SLPP gets a spokesperson. Let him speak. They get information minister and they pay $1. Let him speak. So waiting he can't talk. People in Yai they run water. He can't take pepper. He rub a mark inside the Yai. He rub the pepper back inside the Yai.
Thank you, Mr. Imran. Thank you. Let me go to Mr. Allen. Mr. Allen, the statement of Mrs. Fatima Bio, there where it say after when they don't pass 2023, they go do we just say after 2023 they go do this, they go begin do the work of the people. Is this the ticket you don't hand over to the opposition? Because that's a statement where it makes she's in fact, well, we not do nothing 2022, they begin do the work of the people. And the one day where no, they do the minister them now, and this same woman, now we don't can talk to her, they say some people then they we want to take the president go on that dark road where he pray for Ramadan 10 3 years ago. Where he pray, he say let God pull them commodity, but God not pull them commodity because the president get choice. He keep them there. He keep the one then there where they not do the work of the people, according to Fatima Bio. So if they don't keep them there, now they promise the people say after 2023. Then they go begin do the work, and then they go pull the one there way because what you do, they don't get the money where they don't put first by the first election. So una therefore go now, Lord begin do the work of the people. Now, what do you take of that statement, there, Mister? Is this you know hand over the 2023 election to the opposition already? Because that's a campaign statement right there for the opposition for use against this sitting president. Go ahead, Mr. Allen.
Well, Madam Fatima, thank you very much for this opportunity for talk on this issue regarding Fatima and speech and statement. Well, me and Imran, we not twin them. We get one buffer also okay meet. So the same way where it start in the same way where it start in deliberation, Mr. go do the same thing. I just want pinpoint on the tail end of what I had wanted to say previously in the previous deliberation regarding the COP before I can't Fatima Bio anything. Let me just cement that quickly. You know, we also know say each and every one of the political party get an individual party constitutions. And when it comes to the appointment of flag bearer, I wanted to know, because I did not talk about the memorandum where Mr. Shilon said we talk about same and ground rules, where almost at the same kind is just playing around with the nomenclature. The ground rules might be the memorandum of understanding between them. I want to know whether this memorandum will supersede the party constitutions, because this party constitution, these are legal documents where bind them, where at least they're in line with the national constitution of the country. So in actual fact, but I've been listening to Imran just now, Imran they talk say the majority. Okay, I agree with that. But I wanted to interrupt him then. Una second for try get a leader. I think the other party they don't get leader. Anyway, like come like to Fatima Bio. You see, Fatima Bio and Madam Fadima una all go be a me witness of VOS about 4 years ago when the SLPP came to power newly. The way where Fatima Bio been the behaving self have been quick for through an audio draw the attention of the SLPP elders. I said then get for call Fatima Bio to order, or else they're not going for control and in time to come. And this is where we are. I made that audio on several occasions and make a lot of statements on several audios making that statement. Now this VOS platform, but they don't listen. And today, NSSF they don't gain. Why I tell you say they don't gain? When go after Fatima Bio after we make that statement on the field stations thing, I know the one that will call me, and most of the people will call me, will commend me. These are authorities from the SLPP side. Where then they commend me, they say, "Oh, you do well. Oh. This one might not give me chance for do work." These were some of the, I had a lot of calls. Okay, now log on to this audio where it make regard say where they can next. Not for can help the people. Anyway, Fatima Bio, I don't know if he can consult, or I don't know if he get an advisor, because what it do so it just don't assassinate a husband in administration. It just don't dirty the water, because it expose a man in administration say they have never worked, they no work. They don't work at all. And even if they work, now for themselves and their pockets and they work, including himself. That is what she has explained to the world. So if they tell we say, would I get sense? Will not be work, but this time around what they can so now they can for work for now. They fuck this first can work become now we say for work for. So is that what Fatima Bio is trying to tell us? Now that make you see, I don't know, but Fatima Bio only actions and public show not there in the best interest of a money administration. And somebody go say, no talking that. I get for talk to because President Biona me papa, Fatima Biona me mama. If Pekin are able to tell their parents and true na oath, I'm not think say na Pekin for that oath, na Pekin for them parents and they. At least say some of we get for them say open rebuke is better than secret love. Of course, when Fatima Bio mess up, we get for talk and say you mess up big time. Now that make you see earlier before time last week, I'll tell and say you get for take the back seat, because if you continue for do what they do so, it more they expose a man to more embarrassment and more and things the way before say a man not able to withstand them. Because most of them statement they always make now this video here, I'm not think say it in line with the SLPP position. Well, some of we been they expecting maybe Lima for don't can talk or the Minister of Information. I don't know what them for don't can talk. Because Madam don't talk already. Among them, none of them not get mind for can't debunk the Madam. None of them. They're not gonna get a gut for doing. You see what I mean? Now only some of we go do them, because for me, I am not a politician and I don't want to be one. I don't believe in any one of them, so I cannot be one. And I know I made somebody remote me. Now that make I always continue for review say I don't want to be a politician and I don't want to be part of them. Because I'm ready for talk, I talk with you, I want for talk. You see what I mean? I want to satisfy my conscience and my God what I deserve. When it is not well, it is not well. Somebody has to say it. But honestly, Fatima Bio has defeated the entire administration of the SLPP in this video here. And this video, I know say the opposition get for use this video extensively in their campaigning, because now the opposition get for use. And they give opportunity to the opposition every minute, every second. It's better it just keep quiet. That's my take.
So let me play another video we see President Bio. First of all, we see first the President Bio go. Let we go first. No, let not go to the video. Let go first to the one where Fatima Bio do the Julius Mother Win campaign on he do a campaign for say Julius Mother Bio for Mother Bio in election. They do a campaign and they do an auction up into money. And we see people that within the government, the present government, people when are public officers, them where they work, where with money they pay. We hear the outrageous bidding on Madabio statue, the money when they pledge and donate towards Madabio in 2023 elections. And we got PPRC, I see somebody they talk about the PPRC where they for put things in place, checks and balance, where for check the people them. But it look like say we dip free for all, everybody they do what thing that they do. And this thing is like a big conflict of interest to me when you hear ministers and people in position. Then they run the government right now. Then they openly, you get reform, you get campaign limits where you they give to each candidate. You can't give a certain amount of money, and the government they watch everything. Then get people the way they watch everything. And even in Canada, there is a parliamentarian or somebody will run for parliament or whatever. It make over the money. They get for losing in what they call now. Then they do another by-election for put somebody else in place and pull them because they break campaign law and campaign rule. But in Freetown in Sierra Leone, it is free for all. We see people then they do anything they do. Nobody know they check. Nobody know they do. Everybody just they do what in there bloody well please. But not let we watch this video Mrs. Fatima Biona organize una let listen quick. Let una give me una take on it please.
So you see this one you don't have flavor. And this one, the starting point with this one is 150 million. I believe when you get this one this official thank you letter from His Excellency himself to sign. Do we have anyone who would want His Excellency to write to him a personalized letter and say thank you? Thank you for believing in me. Can we start somewhere? Aha! 200 million. Now that one is our money. There seniority no deal. No seniority no deal.
Yes. 210 million.
210 million. Professor, you want to go higher? I don't wish they go down America that meeting.
250 million.
And this is the auction where they do campaign. You know, everybody they buy in position. And that's why, like I say, they get limit where they put per person in personal campaign. The thing they back, then get what in all they then group them where then pack them, then group them where they come together, where you know they can do ad against a person. People that can put money, then do ad, then lobbyist group or whatever. But when you see a minister. When you see people that within a government, we're presently in a government, then they buy them power, then they buy, say, they don't already to me buy them space. So to you, Mr. Imran, that video there where you see, so what thing are you take on that video there? What do you feel say they happen at that video there where this government continue for do to we as an insult, the term where things they add, so yeah, you will minister, because the question I get for ask again, how much will they pay with president or with minister there? Almost a minister they make, almost what they call they make, where they're able for afford that kind of money, then nobody know they ask question, nobody know they check you income, nobody know they check, everybody they do. Mr. Imran, I pass on to you, sir.
This night is slap we all face this because at the time when the people life they balance, they live and fast, they're not getting for it. Tintranga for them. They're not able to put 2 pennies, rub them together. Then they rub it up for people. The timing is wrong. The timing is totally wrong and it's not acceptable. Now that 10 day, people then come out, they go buy face with fiber nightmare for go put in at the house. Because me not see the kind back where that man gets and he kind of and how he done in the presidency. And the way he take lie.
Be nice on my president, be gentle. Be gentle on my
take lie. Well, honestly, me not see him as me president. The reason we make us say this, I go say that. Because somebody where they come before it people them, even though they don't get something wrong, they take responsibility. You hear him for say in your own manifesto from A to Z, it don't even exceed them. Me not be ever no say alphabet past Z. Me not for say it's up and Z. For say then give people car wash. How you go give people wash where pump not the open? Then somebody like gentle come out say na gutter water then they take wash the motocar them. That is innovative. Now gutter water then motocar in America. Now gutter water then they take wash motocar in any civilized country. So some things and they want to for Sierra Leone. It get for reach a point where we get for say no. And sometimes this can really pierce me in my heart, because to be honest, the title Mr. Then America, Fatima then America, Bill Clinton 19, Obama. We will busy. They keep extends now they read and they call title Engineer Kamara, Engineer Bangura, Engineer not a title, Engineer na Mr. Surgeon specialist na Mr. Gynecologist na Mr. Lawyer na Mr. There is nothing called a lawyer. This lawyer is not a title. But Salone so obsessive about title to an extent, if you're not able to learn book, you go get a cup or go make a for let them call you allergy. And these are all the reasons we make we country not a progress. This lady go team up, they do short and auction. The people them where they buy them thing and we say we try for stop corruption. Then people there, now minister them. Then people there, some of them, the now director now we quasi governmental organizations. Then they spend one of them, what they call Daniel Katibi. Buy one of the nightmare portrait. He buy him 55 million. Almost money that they pay him. Where they go buy just a nightmare photo of a war organism. And not only war physically, it war by habits, because where you not we're supposed for be empathetic, we're supposed to get sensitivity about you people and needs, and you promise them, you say they can't lift their what's in human capital, you say they can't improve their lives. You come now, won't go in Owanga. Before that, you they fly like pepperboard, up and down. Then you come sarcastically before them. Me, I go fly bet like a 3-year-old Pekin when I kindergarten. So when you look at all these things, it is really bad. It is worse than we even talk about. So me no know. I agree. Me other brother again when a very good social media blogger, but they try forget a say over this issue. When Mr. Thomas instead talk about it, and not saying that the only person, but the thing is. Then people there, then they do them thing there with impunity. Why? Because with the Sierra Leone, they will not hold them to account. You see, for that person abuse you, you get for give permission. So Sierra Leone, and we don't sign a blank ticket to we politicians and say, you guys can abuse us all we want. And
okay.
It has to stop. It has to reach a point.
Okay, let's go to Mr. Alan. Mr. Alan. We get the PPRC, then job for look over then campaign issue. Yeah, we get one person they bid on something 50 million, 100 and something million. Who side them people here? Then they pull them money here, when they bid there. And the insensitivity of the timing of certain things where the first lady continue to do. What do you say to this video and how did what thing go that you first thought now you aid? Where you hear and see this bidding where these people, because I think one of them was he not the manager of the Sierra Tel or Sierra Network or Sierra something where they not pay the people, them the local people are complaining that they have not been paid or something like that. And then we have, you know, the people that would work at Sierra Tel or whatever, we see them going out striking, they're not gonna pay them for 6 months, 8 months, but we see one minister using money. Who side them pull the money? Almost then they pay minister per month, $2,000, $3,000. I don't know per month. So, Mr. Allen, to you, sir, because you didn't at the ground, so take help me smaller understand. Help what people understand, because I don't understand. Mr. Allen, are you there, sir? Okay, Mr. Sheila, now go to you, Mr. Allen, to tell me the offer.
So, hello,
Mr.
can you hear me?
Okay,
Hello?
Mr. Allen is
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Yeah, it's back.
Okay, Mr. Allen, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Fadima. You know, Fatima Bio not go stop for Amazwi. At all. You not go stop for Amazwi. And when I watched that video day, I go say I almost run tears. The simple reason is because I've been look at and say, Oda na we anti-corruption commissioner. Because if we get an anti-corruption commissioner, I am sure then get a job for be done. There is a clause in the Act of the Anti-Corruption Commission where they call unexplained wealth. And that clause, they Salone we ACC, they hardly use that clause then they. If only we ACC they use that clause, then they activate that clause. Believe me, Salone, revenue, they no need for go and increase tax from people them unnecessarily. Just that clause they don't sufficient for bring more revenue into Salone. But you know the reason why most of the time we ACC them in and out, they're not the activate them, they're not the use them, because they themselves, they are victim, they are guilty of that clause. Because you can't imagine them pay somebody 50 million leons. Then you look at the expenditure per month is over 300 million leons. And they listen to this video, some man they go pledge 50 something million. The man are not come. Then I see Madam Fadima, you make mention of Siratel. I'm not be even take note of Siratel. Now when you make mention of Siratel, so I was a little bit perplexed. I said, what? You mean Siratel, the MD, also go do the same thing? Where in people then they cry, people they don't at Siratel for 6 months, 1 year, they know they get salary. And they follow Siratel very closely. They were one of my subscribers. They were one of my service providers. Now they provide me internet. But decide for left them because their service is no longer appropriate.
Yeah, it's not even good. Yeah.
Yeah, the system is always down, and they pay me money unnecessarily. I know they get the service.
That's the same thing. It happened to me when I was in Freedom for 2 months this December. For nothing, money I paid
exactly.
Them.
I didn't say for over 6 years, for over 6 to 7 years. And they have been getting the internet from, and every month they pay 550,000. You can imagine $55 every month. Then I know they get the service. So I have no alternative but for left them. But when you talk with the staff they say they know they get salary, and all internet their system is always down, and all internet day. And even yesterday there was a strike. Day before yesterday there was a strike. All this past week there was a strike at Siratel. Then we see the MD. Then they tell the people they say they not get money. Then they go donate to say money come out. Then you come to the Minister of Trade. You come to the Minister of Trade. I already said the Minister of Trade said go the 80 million, which is like $8,000. How much is he pay monthly?
That's my question.
Can imagine now that make us still they ask which job we ACC they do. We ACC need for actually investigating people there. You see, just like tax officers then can go to them clubs and they. Tax officers in most occasions then can go to them clubs. Then they go sit down, then they watch how people then they spend money. All and then are just for help them for do their job at the end of the day, for can begin to query you. Who say they get all this policy? They want to know how they get him money, how they spend it. You purchase in power, all anything they want to know. Well, we are anti-corruption commission. I not think say they're too sensitive for do their job. Because all anything the way they are pursued to public domain, then they see them, then they area. But what are they doing? What are they doing? So in actual fact, waiting can to mind Madam Fadima that the anti-corruption commission, whether in actual fact they do their job. Because if such a thing, like what Fatima Bio they do so, it's like they give opportunity now to people that for be corrupt more and a bribery and corruption. Because the mere fact you tell somebody say when I can't buy me man in picture, that means for say by default you already don't say okay your position is yours, you will not be removed. It's like people are bribing now for their position, individual position.
Yeah, they're buying their they're buying their position.
And that make us say, they actually do well for a man. If they put a man on hot water every day they put hot water per a man. Every day if they put hot water per a man. And yes. And there is somebody they say every day President Bio in face he twist. Well, let me be the devil's advocate here. How the man in face not go twist? Because the woman not they bring smile to her face. That's my take. Think about it, Mr. Tubaku makes her hair.
Thank you, Mr. Alan. Mr. Shilon, to you, before I go to my last video I want to play today, Mr. Shilon, to you, sir, you don't see, you don't hear me. What did I take on? What do you see here, sir?
Well, some of the comments the way I don't hear so far are true, but if I were in active politics, I will not be bothered by what Fatima Bio do, because if you're in opposition, you for be thankful. You want Fatima Bio for talk more and more and more daily, because by implication, it already make admission that in first 4 or more years, they've only helped themselves, like our Mr. Tubokumezga say. So, I mean, now they admit, say, the next, if they win, when you say when they win, if they win, start in 2023, they get a in fighting. Apparently, what you gather from what you say, within their own structure, there are those who believe, because I read people, I know a lot of well-educated people, and I repeat this all the time. When one party come on a power and a Salone, the other one come, they not rejoice, say, oh, this is progress. They say, this now we don't turn for it. Educated people say that. Now, now we don't turn this for it. So that's how they look at politics. It's a quick, get rich quick process. They not see them as a service to the people for improve people's lives. And this now well-educated people, now among we on ranks and files, Naya, and many other places, now we don't term this for it. So the attitude, even in going in, so by implication, it seems like Madam Fatima Biodi say, we don't term for it, it'll come to an end. If we win the next go around, now the China and they will be for serious about focusing on what we can do for the people. That's a very, very, very serious indictment against the president's own party. But now the opposition for be thankful there is a Fatima Bio, and maybe she's telling the truth, that she's admitting, because it's an admission, that they haven't done anything for the country. But that said, the other thing, when I look at that video about this auctioning of the president in portraits, well, it reminds me so much of Shaka Stephen. So I call that Stephenism, in the sense that that's not Pashaki will bring you in cabinet for corrupt you. But they want president from the ministers. All kind of a situation, they ask the ministers, they also, to pull this money. Well, you can't tell Pa Adu you for bring one briefcase of money. They ask you, say you pull up. So by implication, the president, they tolerate and promote corruption. Because not only will you talk about an extreme conflict of interest, when minister then they go by auction for raise fund for the president, There are no rules. But this, if you don't call that corruption, where people are able to buy portrait 200 million Leone, down about $20,000, where may not know the salary of ministers, but I'm sure not 2-3 months salary that one day. And how you could be head of a department where your employees already get paid. So the other implication here is we do not have people in politics who have power in our country. They will care. This gets me right back to this thing about tribalism. People look at the facts. When we ignore the facts, we will not get anybody for blame but ourselves. If you look at the way the politicians behave, they do not care whether we share the same tribal link. They don't care. If they are in it for themselves, the sooner people they accept that fact, the better. This is the reason why I advocate, and I will continue to advocate, that left this sectional thing, the North, the South, left this party label, let we look for genuine leader. And last but not least, my own view about leadership is a gift. I got the gift. Not your book sense, not your prominence. Because now waiting the commander, you know, I always use Obama as an example. Obama had all the odds against him. A black man, he was new, he not got experience in politics, but he do one thing where the one that would chip and the business not be able to do. He sell aspiration. He sell what you will go look for in the future for picking them or grand picking them. So to me, if you get caught, it wouldn't matter to me. Even when they come with a coalition, somebody who is 35 years old, if he got snapped before that group day and persuade them, say he is the man of the hour, he is
no,
not.
Mr. Shillon, they say 40 years. They for
Okay, if he's 40, let's say he's 41 years old, but if he has the power, and you see, this is the other mistake.
No, they say for being a president, it's only you got to be 40, not 35.
No, I just say if.
That is age discrimination. It should not be there.
But let me just say, let's say he's 42. Okay. If he's 40, well, first of all, these are the things that they argue. Whose evidence we get for so say a 41-year-old person in any way, shape, or form smarter than a 30-year-old? In fact, if you look at the progression of human lives, now the younger people, now they get all the talent. Now they get all the. I mean, how many since when we did in me or Una or our lives? Tell me how many old people that don't invent anything.
No, young.
You know the
young one in it.
So where do we get this idea from? That age gives you monopoly on intelligence and smartness.
Exactly.
We're fooling ourselves. You see, these are some of the things. I think we got to campaign on that too.
And therefore reduce the age.
So, but you see, people they want to put thought into setting the ground rules. That's what they do. And I make we still the struggle with 1991 Constitution because they did not put the necessary thought into writing it. And it will continue to be a problem until we get the requisite, we give the thing the requisite attention. I'm telling you, I mean, and I like we on profession, back home, then get senior lawyer, then get this kind of lawyer.
Yeah.
Well, let's just look at what's in the appointment at the U.S. Supreme Court. Right now, with this new Judge Jackson, we definitely will confirm. She's only 51. Clarence Thomas is old enough for being papa. Are you telling me Clarence Thomas is smarter? Clarence Thomas not go even old that woman there in pocketbook in terms of intellectual fitness. And he went to Yale. So age has nothing to do with it. Now you God-given talent. Now that's all for judge people. And we will begin getting all with the ask for trouble. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm through.
Mr. Emily, I want to say something quick.
Yeah, I just say something quick for add to what my brother say. It is about merit. We get for make Salone a meritocratic society. And all the unequalness there, stop them. That is a blatant age discrimination. Look like where I can they talk to people them. Sierra Leone are the only country in the world, like APC, the new constitution, say youth go up to 35. The international measure of a youth now from 13 to 24. How come Sierra Leone we own youth them at 34? You know, we get for bring we self camp for day line with world standards. We not go the day with the make we self inferior by making them kind of
Mr. Imran, Mr. Imran, 35 international best practice is the age limit for youth. Go back and do your research. Go back and do your research. It's 35.
The United Nations, the United Nations standard 13 to 24.
Most countries around the world, age limit is 35 for youth. My brother, go and do your research. Every country gets a set criteria for youth.
And they talk about progressive countries.
You not go sit down at Yubafa. You not go sit down at Yubafa and decide. You not go sit down at Yubafa. You not go sit down at Yubafa and decide.
Okay, wait.
And me not feel to say presidents now by age, now by your ability. And now when you young,
okay,
now you able
to ability.
But I know,
well,
I know for sure that when you're 24, that's when scientists say your brain don't form. You don't completely form. Now you're an adult. You're not a youth anymore. You're not a young person anymore.
Exactly.
So you are an adult. Your brain finish up at 24. You're able to make sound decisions after 24 years. But I don't know why they say Salone till 35. But maybe it is because of that word and they try for catch them when they hope they don't left behind. Maybe they add to 35. I don't know why they do that. But if we technically I think can find out for we let me know
Madam Fadima,
I fail and they to the small picking them. That's it.
Yes, Madam Fadima, I attended a UN program. Madam Fadima, I attended a youth program in Geneva where the UN organized. Okay. And the limit age for youth, according to the UN at Geneva, UNCTAD, have been 35. That was the age limit.
And when was that, sir?
That is not possible, my brother. That is
when was that, Mr. Allen? I'm very technical.
That was 2000, 2001. 2001 millennium.
Because somebody they say in Islam you they take 40 years, you know youth, take 40 years, you know youth.
Not possible.
Mama say Islam you are in your 40. So I mean, technically to find out that for we will give me that information there. Google can tell me, hey Google, what is the international age for you?
Even Sylvia Blyden, when the APC and 40 them use. Sylvia Blyden challenge on that. You know.
15 to 24. It just said Google. Hey Google.
Bingo.
What is the international age for
Bingo.
Sorry, I don't have any information about that, but I found something similar. Do you want to know what the word mutely means?
Hey Google, what is the age limit for youth?
According to Wikipedia.org, the United Nations defines youth as persons between the ages of 15 and 24 with all UN statistics based on this range. The UN states education is a source for these statistics.
Mama, no, it's United Me, I already talk to you.
No, 15 to 24. That's what Google said. Say the United Nations.
24.
Okay.
Okay, it said 24, 15 to 24. Because I know say the brain they continue form at so you make sound decisions even though you're an adult at 18 after 18.
Madam Fadima, the UN Madam Fadima, I am coming. Every country gets its own constitution, right? You want to say Google will determine the constitution.
No, it said United Nations. United Nations.
The United Nations, but with constitution what they make, United Nations gets its own rules. In our organization, and Salone, we can set your age limit for youth. According to the constitution, every country gets your age limit for youth. Every country by the constitution. What is Salone constitution say?
I said, Mr. Allen, That's why I said maybe what you do Salone make until 35 because of the war. The one that we don't left behind, they were accommodates them. That is what my statement was. Everybody get right for making own, but the world agreement it is still 24 United Nations. That's
exactly, and that's what it is. If we want to compete.
Yeah, I mean, so
Not to ultimate the United, not to ultimate what the United Nations they agree on. Where the United Nations welcome to the practice.
Okay, Mr. Alan, let me listen. Let me listen what he say. Can you make it bigger so Mr. Shilon can read it because I can't see.
Yes, it says there is no universally agreed international definition of the youth age group. For statistical purposes, however, the United Nations, without prejudice to any other definitions made by member states, defines youth as those persons between the age of 15 and 24. You know,
So there is no discrimination. They're not a discriminate. Anybody can make your own, but the average one, the statistic, they make them say like that. But that's why I said Sierra Leone might have gone to 35 because of that lost generation. The one that will not be done, that war term, they want given their youth years, we've been taken away from them. That's all I said. But now we move on to the next video. We see another video where they talk on this fraud, waste, and abuse, and you know, of waste money where we dip waste money, you know, and we know say the unexplained wealth. We hear with president. Everybody getting religious right, in religious out for go heaven. Everybody getting where they go heaven. And the president say, he get for go heaven. So he go to a church now Wilberforce. Now he go give boku donation. Una go hear the video for yourself. He said, he give 2 billion leons for the renovation. He give 100 million leons for Samura Kamara and Padi when not they TV. He put for Samura Kamara. That means say if Bobo Samura Kamara now say, well, I go dash, I go put bunya for you, Paolote, I don't do so. He said it give 3,000 bag of cement and 2 tons of iron ore. We people and they suffer. We they ask almost again, Mr. Alan, because I know you offend and they become they try for Fenam. What is the salary of the yearly income for a president in Sierra Leone? I don't know that. I don't look at able to see. So I want to know how much they pay with president. America president, if you Google, tell you say 400,000 a year, and then they pay America president. So half of we 1 year salary when they pay with president, now we president go donate. He donates.
Hello?
Ms. Fadu.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Your one
Your Grace, the Bishop, the clergy, well-wishers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is my church. My God is this, with a fair way for going to heaven. So, of course, Rome was not built in a day, so we also need 20 tons of iron rod. And we give this week 2 billion we are ready Dr. Sabura Kamara has pledged another 100 million euros.
I think my stuff they be blocked. It keep blocking. It block and it kick me out. I don't know why. But to go before we go to that video, the Youth for African chapter is 15 to 35. And then because thank you Rosaline for sending it. UN secretary is from 15 to 24. The UN Youth Fund is from 15 to 32. So it go between ages, everybody get different age. But Africa young youth now 15 to 35. Now they then put with Africa Union 2006. Now they come up with that. African Union say 15 to 26. I keep getting
Thank you for vindicating me. Because that man who came me go na Ibafa. That man who came me go na Ibafa. Madam Fadima, thank you for vindicating me. Because
we get for try for self with world standard.
Yep.
And compete with the best countries.
Mm-hmm.
Because recently, I don't know if Mr. Shilon
which country are the best country?
America,
the best country is Salone. The best country is Salone.
When a very young guy, and this guy symbolically, he was a youth leader now college. So when you involve early in politics, you go right quicker and get into politics. But when I don't disenfranchise all the young people, 35-year-old grandpa we don't get 12 picking. We not get time for politics, they pan politics. No wonder would they be so. You know? Because Minos feel say 35-year-old for they in competition with 24-year-old. If they get a youth manager now any party, if for be below 12, be below 24 or 24, that's go keep the bubble them for involved early. And the more they involve early, the better it go be for we. Then we go get dynamic, we go get strength, we go get purpose. And our younger people are able to take risk.
All this you are defending your 24.
Me not get any problem for a 24-year-old be president. If he merits him, because for me, it's not about the color of the once they push able character, I want them. I know they buy push because of the color, I push because of the ability.
Are they going to Ibafa again?
Ms. Fadima, you muted? Oh, okay. It looked like Ms. Fadima muted. Now, again, these are some of the discussions then we would get, where we always feel, say, the educational, we'll not get for agree. But we get for use we on common sense, we intelligence. One of the problems we'll get in Australia, we now get creative thinking. How long the UN go to set standards for we? Let we look at where environment, we look at new uniqueness, we look at where cultural setting, and make a determination. Because we know say as a practical matter, and I'm not trying to disagree with Mr. Mesga, but I just want to say, if I had anything to do with the definition of youth, I think 35 is much too old. Because at 35, people only become grandparents by then. It's kind of hard for tell grandma and granny say they're a youth. You know? Why we not subject we begin there? And then we also say at 80 you are an adult. If you are old enough for go fight for your country, for join the army, if you are old enough to get married, you know, why are we saying that you are not? In fact, I used to have serious arguments with people way back where the MPRC take over, BO and stress at them. I had some intellectuals who would say, oh, na bobo them. So I used to argue with them. I said, but wait a minute, why not call them bobo? If what you make when I feel they're not capable for run the country, the same guys, if they had come home at the same age because they were in their 20s, And as doctors, as lawyers, as professors, we go admire them. But because in a leadership position, we say, oh, now about them, they don't get the sense for run the country. I say we're making a good mistake. You know, I used to argue with people, and I say, to me, now the perfect age down there, because you're full of ideas at a young age, all kind of things that walk through your mind. You see possibilities, hesitancy not to part of your thought process. You can see things happening, you know, and then as you get older, you begin to be cautious. You begin to be careful. So in life, like Mr. Teresa just now, the younger you are, the better you are for take risk. Now, if we think, say, 35 years too young, you know, youth, for be president, we go, why we not hold a degree? You know, for give youth them degrees either, not make them, not give them PhD, not give them master's degree. We still in 35 because they're too young. They don't get the ability for getting degree in there. But it's a self-defeating argument. You know, we got to be a little more progressive. Because Salone, one of the problem now, we not get progressive thought process. We not think how for rise up to the 21st century. We are holding ourselves down. You know, listen, I will not be advocating for youth if I was a selfish person. You know, I'm in my 70s, but I get enough intelligence for no say when I was much younger, and we all know that. If you did school or anything you be to do, you do them better, much better. Your best days now your young days. Don't fool yourself. You might get some wisdom and experience, but I mean, in comparison to being younger, intellectually, physically, in many respects, I mean, let's don't fool ourselves. So if 42 or 41, I don't see the correlation. Why you get for be that old, Sierra Leone for be president. I still keep saying this. If you can articulate a vision, how you go lift the life up of the ordinary man. And let's remember, again, Dr. Martin Luther King. How old was he? He was not 50.
Exactly.
You know, the Prophet Muhammad, how old was he? Jesus Christ, how old was he? You know, so every major change we've seen in our lives, now people are way young. So when we begin to put the impediment there at 42, something is wrong. We are not really being realistic, and with the whole with the withhold progress, and at the legal profession of Australia, that I see.
Mr. Shilon, I am not really against what you're saying. 40 is too much, but first and foremost, and can you always say what you say you buck your foot. Waiting bring about the 40 years. Now the drafters of the constitution, yeah. Now that make you see they ask for a review, constitutional review commission. You know, Justice Kawan, they may do that. I don't know if they ever change the age. But again, the next question, what is the retirement age for a sitting president? If then they get date for a president, say if it be 40 before he be president, then I am sure the constitution for also get provision for retirement of a president. But now they see any provision in most constitutions for retirement of a president.
I think the reason being because you get limitation of the time we get. Yeah, go ahead.
If I can box in here, me not to person where partisan they support something just because I'm a political party. I am not at the moment somebody where they prep you in anything because they see fame. So where he be much younger, he make a very powerful decision where I go clap for him. Now he make a decision say he go sell we petroleum institution. Leonians was a beautiful, realistic decision. We bring wealth kind of we country because it would have gone because the other people and we bid now outside of them. Madabio say no. He said this for be a Salone affair. Now we give young people a chance now we country for them to get the chance for getting into business. And that was a fantastic. I applaud them for that. And you know do I mean this president, he do and way be way young. You see, we get for learn from them things they are and call things them by the name. This was when it be the NPRC. But now where it don't hold, it look like we say it don't rusty. Because from where he come and this presidency for 2018, he has not done anything lucrative, anything to write home about. And I am really disappointed with him. But that decision where he make,
behind every successful man, there is a woman.
Everything. No,
So,
now a man sell
is
the thing to Sierra Leoneans.
Is President Bio a successful man? If President Bio is successful in his administration, why not the woman? So if he fail, not the woman. Is that what you're saying?
Well, they say to every successful man, he gets a good wife, we got here. To every unsuccessful man, he gets an unsuccessful woman, we Satan here. So no let so. Because Satan saved the give wife.
Yeah, that's true. But Miss Fatima, are you back? Are you on board, Miss Fatima? You are muted. I don't know. We're not hearing you. We're not hearing you. Huh.
Pastor, send a message.
Yeah. Because of course it's time for us to wrap up. So I normally wrap up without her knowing what's going on. I don't know if it is, but here, make her send the message. Because the technical room say it's time to wrap up. You know. Miss Fatima, can you hear me?
Yeah, she's
Can
lost.
you hear me?
She's gazing at us.
Yes, yes.
Can you
Are you
hear
back?
me?
Yeah, she's back.
Yes,
She's back.
I'm glad, yeah.
I have been blocked. I don't know why I keep getting blocked. I keep going on and off. I've been blocked. Something they block me. Me feed.
I think President Bio is blocking
Well,
you.
but yeah, I've been hearing on a conversation. I've been hearing a conversation, but I just couldn't add to it. And like how they say, you know, I mean the age. I mean, young minds they progressive. Young minds they invent. Young minds they solve problems. Not to say to discredit the one that we done there before, but they have to put these age limits down for them young people. Them I believe say there are young men now that are 35, between 35 and 40, we can solve a problem as a president better than the one that we see done now or the big one that we been done there before. I believe that. I believe that is, you know, kind of the problem. But what you had to try for talk here is we don't see a president now. We see the president they give away money. We see how they donate money. We see how they do all them things and the money where we belong. And President Biobi don't come to the BBC. He said before him been there, they ask her what he been do. He said he been make cacao farm, but I think he said the cacao farm not progressive or not do well or whatever and not get better things. We see where President Bio come. I get on another video, I don't know if they go show and quick, where they talk to BBC too, where they talk say again for court spending on the too much flying. But he came and did the same thing. So some of these people that are activists on the side, that are when they come inside politics, then they forget what in them they don't talk of the people. And now President Bio is spending money. To me, that's excess. That's not conservative spending. And now you don't give money. Yes, to you, God, it is good. That is your God. But whose money is it? That is the question. When people then they suffer like how then they suffer. So when people then they cry like how then they cry so. When people then they do like how then they do so. Who that's in money that day? Let we listen to that video where President will talk quick. Then I put on to Una. And then the other question I ask Una before we close, we can't round off because I know say Una all they keep fast now. We get for go cut fast. But I mean, let me ask the other question back again. Is Fatima Bio preparing herself for 2028? Because the next election, maybe she want to run as first president. I don't know. But I throw that question for provoking thought. Let me listen to this video quick.
There is excessive expenditure on foreign travels. There is also a lot of use of foreign exchange on contracts within the country. These are things that we have to stop. So
Now the voice of President Bio 2018, when they debate, this is what he tell me, but President Bio don't fly past everybody. And he tell we say, he go continue for fly because they go make Salone. And I want able make Salone, so he get for continue for fly. And we don't allow voice after voice, but this per diem. Every time when they go in the coast Sierra Leone, and the people are suffering silently, the center is not holding. Economically, we don't get to the crowd, now the bon crowd, and now we dey per eat. But this president be tell we say he get the answer for fix. Now the last question that they are throwing to now. To you first, Mr. Imran, I give you this. And I give you three minutes, so we'll go round up, not talk about too much again. We will come another day for continue. People are there for go cut fast. Let me go.
Well, the politician they will get now will continue so lip service. They can tell you about change, but when they can't have power, they change the change. When they see them, they can't change. Now they change first. And this is not unusual for make them can't say they can't change. When they can't, then change the change, whatever change. So that's not shock me, not surprise me. What me they try for say is we problem okay in Sierra Leone. Now we priorities then are they wrong. Where government sky 1 billion of Garrett, where water day. How you go in skyscraper where water not they go up there? How you go bring the lift scandal for work where electricity not there? Why we not go focus on the basic essentials then? Then build pattern. Why they build us now the foundation first you they start with. You know they start with the roof. But what thing will they do now with country? You find out for say everybody they focus on things them way elaborate and not only things them where people they need now what thing they want. Like for instance, SLPP be go APC be go for go do Mama Airport. It's a wonderful idea, but I not be agree with them. Why? We get an airport right now we're underused. People don't get water for drink. People need water to drink. The whole reason we make people and they get typhoid now because put in the water. We not get see what system as Sierra Leone. These are things when are priorities. Like President Bio say in the Kankam give almost he say they give 3,000 bags of cement, 2 tons of iron rod, 2 billion. Church is not a priority in Sierra Leone right now. You can pray to God anywhere. God not opposed in where they ostentatiousness. In order for that, you can pray under mangotique. I get somebody who I love so much. Somebody where nobody know they want love person. He asked me, he said that they build mosque na a village. Do you allow I contribute? I tell him, say, in as much as I love you past anything in this world, when I get water supply now in a village, he say no. I say, when I ready for make water supply, I go contribute, but I already contribute for Maslasi. Maslasi is not a priority. And you hear every time Sierra Leone and the way they talk, we want to go build mosque, we want to go build mosque. Who told you God is impressed about the size of the mosque where you build? Where God make we, the very first thing where he make everything what we need. Now we last he put on this app because he want for us to be self-sufficient. Why we not go begin to think on that line and day? Let we get water supply. From what them build Connaught Hospital 1925. Check today, them bill them for just the Fritonians. They not be reach 100,000. Now we get a set today. Now, not to even hospital, na clinic. We get Pandeba Road, just then here as a state house. Pandeba Road not supposed for the under. Who said Pandeba Road today? Therefore, move that prison and then build the biggest international hospital. When a university hospital, we go make the train with doctors and even better. So they go get world standard and all that thing and they. Me na that thing and they I want to see. So whosoever win the election, I don't want to see road. I don't want to see airport. I don't want to see skyscraper. Go build skyscraper. Water not there for flush latrine. Go build skyscraper. Electricity not there. Now we get the basic things them. Now make a talk say we need somebody radical. Talking about age back. Sankara was a young man. In 4 years, it changed upper Volta. In fact, the name post he changed. Because it changed the people's mentality. He said, I go call this country Burkina Faso, a country of upright people, men and women. They became upright in 4 years. It changed them thinking. And it tell them, say, you country, if you depend on other person, the person where they feed you, now they dictate for you. Look, Sierra Leone, they want for country. Pass the hip cup for we Manjalanji. We want for do elections. Pass the hip couple for we so that then go determine who that go be with leader. This problem will get so right now in England cause them for we. Now then pick this man here. Because now they pay for the elections. We got for stop all that in the year. We got for try for build an economy, make self-sufficiency. Look what we president talk about rest. Me not sabi tomabo for rest. Now wala sabi for rest. Not na den na grassland. Rest na grass. That's the right ecology for rice. If Mother Bio was serious, if we talk about making farms in Walla, but how the rest go be grown now the country where America won't they so, then they do policies then for protect homegrown industries. When are busy, they go put rest na Vietnam, they go put rest na China, where you can come back na Sierra Leone. It's cheap. Then thereby it affects the national rice grower them, the rest productivity. That make nobody
we gotta invest. Yeah.
Because when you grow your rest, you want for sell them, they go bring Chinese rest 5 cents for cup. Where the Walla rest now 15 cents for cup. Who do they go buy 15 cents for waiting? Now next in America, then they make taxation pan the international.
Okay, Iman, now we give Mr.
Protect
Alan.
the homegrown industry. These are basic common sense.
Now we give Mr. Alan.
But common sense na garden. You get for plant and for let grow.
Yeah. Let me give Mr. Alan chance. Let himself talk small bit. Mr. Alan, what are your take on all waiting the video we don't watch and all waiting I say where this president he's not a conservative spender. He just spend continue for spend. I mean, but it may say money not day, but we just continue for spend. But then they spend to themselves. But the teacher, then the local doctors, the nurses, the one the way they do the work, the everyday work, they know they get money in their pockets. But yet they continue to spend and continue for go and get our money there. What do you say to that, sir? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Madam Fadima. You know, both them videos there, the one on the church and the one where President Beauty talk about stopping all them traveling stuff. Like this traveling stuff, I had wanted to know when President Beauty make that statement. Because no one nail President Beauty now where I actually know the dates of that video. I don't know when he do the video. Maybe it might be yesterday.
Okay, it was 2018, Mr. Alan. It was Mr. Alan, it was the debate on AYV in 2018. Now the presidential debates audio.
Oh, okay. All right, fantastic. So that you don't give me a background of the video.
Yes, sir.
So in 2018, and waiting President Bio say no go by. But if you listen to me earlier, what I've been telling about politicians, think about it. In anyway, back to the video now, the church video. When I watch the church video, I engage a lot of platforms there on that church video. A lot of people they may get and take. Maybe you don't take what I been get on that video. It's not the spending that matters to me. Waiting be matters to me. Now the methodology where the president use for spend the money in a church. Nigeria where before say people then they spend just like where you did to way water. Where you want Nigeria like for show off. I don't see Nigeria, where they say occasions. And I think it's a bit to way money. But I have never seen a sitting president in Nigeria. Publicly, they go donate money, like either in a church or in a mosque or not. No, I have never seen that. One of the things where I think about in this video, waiting President Bio for don't do. Yes, if you attend, or you could just tell us, okay, when it comes to this, I will consult my finance person or my personal accountant. We'll see what we do. But the mere fact, it go make them statement then they. It go send a personal couple give fantastic and fine. All that thing and they fine. But me na the public show where it make, that's nine beats me imagination. Because he na a sitting president. Remember, say in a week or two from now, one mosque get for go engage and as well say they want build their mosques. Another church get for go meet them. Another church get for go meet them. And where you no go, it becomes political. So you see, so by default, President Bio just don't expose himself to more expenditure because more churches and more mosques get for go meet them for help them for building churches and mosques. And when he not do them, that go affect in voting when it comes 2023. And for now, this now a campaign period, a political period is, I know say most of them churches and mosques and go and do them prepositions and then concept them for send to President Bio. Because it just don't expose itself to for spend more. When it comes to the area now, say at the moment of crisis, economic crisis, you look at President Bio, they go spend that kind of money there. A lot of people that they give them views say, well, President for don't spend that money there in something else. Where go bring more with itself for the people. Like when they talk about quishing, for quishing the fuel, the subsidy. You know, President Bio go say, okay, let's put this money into the fuel people then. At least let the price come down. That he gets sorry out for you people, just like what you have been say. That President Bio, instead of satisfying the dealers, it's better you satisfy your people. Because the dealers are hard and they satisfy them. Now more taxes, and those taxes being increased, now the people in the suffer. Just like the National Revenue Authority. So that as we talk tax, the taxes are so high on local people. You go look for basic things and at the market, it's so expensive. But again, the question when a lot of people then go ask, really the revenue authority then gets sorry out for the people. They are not even helping the government of the day. Look at the GST machine where they may go put. Say everybody forget the GST machine. That was not timely. Most of the things and where they happen now, they are not timely. But somebody, oh, this person say a timely. I say, well, at the end of the day, a timely, yes. For you, a timely. But for the people, it's not timely because the economic situation is so hard to a point that, I mean, you put more burden on the people. Somebody they call Pepe go take for $1 don't go up. Because even the transportation, save everything. I used to pay 1,000 transport every month. Now you don't go to 500 and something thousand every month. You can imagine. If you're not supposed to depend on minimum wage 600,000, how much if it's a goal at the end of the day? Maybe now 100,000 go in my pocket of 50,000 with my minimum wage of 600,000 leons. So more transport, more money they go into transportation. Hey, you go buy a rest, how much?
Mr. Alan. Mr. Alan, that means government
for really look government
stop money not for come up at that money. The way you don't pay the transport 500,000.
Exactly. Government get for look at one of the thing when they suggest to government get for really sit down within tax people. President Bio need for sit down, make I not just say governments, make I just call him by name. President Bio need for take a U-turn and look at the institution, the people the way he appoint. But it's like say President Bio not in control of most of the people the way he appoint. Because most of the things and where they happen, then just they happen haphazardly. It's like nobody is checking them. This is my take. Because you know, I mean, I can vex President Biote. They are the end of the day, they're sorry for him back. Because those around him are not helping him at all. That's my take. Honestly, all is not well. And that man is a single individual. If you call una around for kind of help for build the country, then they are not doing it. I'm afraid. And you see, most of the guys inside in government are from the diaspora. Not from the diaspora. So even the one that are from the diaspora, when are ministers and directors, they are not even sending a good message for other colleagues in the diaspora. You see what I mean? They're not sending a good message at all.
No, it is not. Yeah, okay, so now we can wrap up now. We don't talk on all this stuff. So how for fix this problem now? Because there's a big problem. There's a big problem. But before we go to the problem, I'll give you now one minute. Quick. Mr. Salone, I can't tell you two first for the last word and add what you get for it. I want quick one. Do you think Fatima Bio gonna run 2028 for president? Mr. Alan, one second, 5 seconds. Yes or no?
Fatima Bio don't already eliminated himself for 2028 if that's my intention. Again, they get another thought say Fatima Bio is planning to go and stand for presidency in the Gambia. You know, okay. But for Sierra Leone, I think say Fatima for Sierra Leone, Fatima Bio don't eliminate himself already.
Mr. Imran, do you think Fatima Bio they prepare herself already they do so now for making self for 2028? You think say go happen?
Sorry, before Mr. Iman chip in there. Sorry, Madam Fadima. Because we're not going to make it can use we as
Beach not full blind where you go now, where it dry go full me not see that as anything I can talk about because I am not interested in that and I don't feel Sarah Luna for be interested in that. She has nothing to offer. You know, I can say this all the time while they talk. Mother Bio presidency don't can make all miliju grade one gonna with miliju grade basket. All kind riffraff one for be presidents na Salone because all man feel to see they are entitled. This entitlement of presidency with all kind low class. If I stop,
But don't they say
he gets the
politics
chance and for even encourage that.
But don't they say politics is number? And this woman, they command. We see her walking a corner. People then get around her. We see her go here. We see crowd. They command crowd. Politics is number.
Mama
Madam Fadima,
if you go to the north, I let
Madam
Mama
Fadima,
put. If not
Madam
APC,
Fadima, it's not a number.
people
If
they
not
go
number,
follow.
Bellawa
If
don't
you
win
go to the
election
south, I let now
2007.
Coca-Cola you put. Once now SLPP, you get that top boy, that palm tree.
I just want to tickle
Not
you
to the leader and the
people.
fella. Now the party and the fella.
Madam
Okay, I
Fadima,
just want
it's
to
not
tickle
the
you.
crowd
So
that
I can say
matters.
something
If not crowd,
to Mr.
Samura Kamara for don't win election 2018. If not crowd, Solomon Bellawa for don't win election 2007. But it's not the crowd. Not all that glitter is gold.
Thank you. I just want tickle her. I just want tickle her a little bit for just making her laugh small. But to you, Mr. Shilon, sir, what in are you taking your last word for today with what you don't talk? So what you want to add to the conversation?
I really not get any more for add. And with respect to the first lady, I always consistently maintain that one of paying that much attention. I mean, now the focus you get to keep your eyes on the prize, which means the president is the man hired for the job. So now for any action or inaction, now for take into account. Fatima Bio, they play all kinds of role. She's playing the role of a wife, good or bad. She's playing the role of first lady. So let her play a role because I don't think it get that much effect on the rest of the country, to be honest with you. So she's never really been of much concern to me. The main person has always been the president himself, who seems to be totally lacking in having the right set of people them with the help and run the country. This is my own disappointment because you get all them but people here, doctor this, doctor that, doctor that. Never in the history of Australian has Australian government been so inadequate in the productivity level by way of the civil service as we're seeing now. So they are totally unimpressive. Maybe they need to hire more technically trained people, and they will cut down them and PhDs here because they're not doing us any good. That's a million problem nowadays. So Fatima Bio, let her do her own thing. I don't think she's having an impact on the country anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's why this is so beautiful. This is the voice of Salone. But I would disagree with Mr. Shilon and say Fatima Bio runs this administration. Fatima Bio is very instrumental to this administration. And waiting Fatima to do the silence of the husband, who is the president. She represents, and then they don't every day. Now, the last one way they see first one way week. So when she comes out there and makes statement and do statement, to me, that is the voice of the president. Because one day, you read the president come out and say, okay, Mrs. Bio, what did Mrs. Bio say? Not on me, not on you, or anybody who they represent the president. So to me, she is a powerful lady that is administration. And to me, she is the co-president right now. But anyway, like I say again, this is the beauty of voice of
Madam Fadima, a quick one. Madam.
Yes, sir.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Madam Fadima, a quick one. Can you hear me? Yes, all right.
Yes,
in one statement you make, you say President Bio. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes,
go ahead.
One statement you make, you say, all right. One statement where you make, you say President Bio, now one of the, he travels more than everybody. I won't disagree with you on that. There is somebody where they travel past President Bio, is President Bio administration. And that person there, with all the travel where don't travel, there is no result in all the travel. And that's not the matter of tourism.
Please tell us who that person
tourism
is.
travels more than everybody under this administration, more than even the president himself. So most of the time where we the point figure at President Bio, Lord remember said there is also somebody who travel past President Bio. She is always traveling and there is nothing home to write about when it comes to Ministry of Tourism and Culture. Ministry of Tourism and Culture is the worst within the sub-region.
Madam Nima, what's in her name? What's in her name? Mamuna Pratt. Madam Mamuna Pratt. Mrs.
Memuna
Mamuna
to
Pratt.
Pratt.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Mamuna to Pratt. Yeah.
Wow.
This is news to me because, like how you say, even the Dubai, I didn't see her in Dubai. She was the minister. She's the minister of tourism, but I didn't see her in Dubai. I saw our first lady front and center selling Sierra Leone, which that was her job, but it was done by the first lady. But anyway, we don't come to the end of the show today. I thank my gentlemen very, very much. Very, very knowledgeable and loud voices on social media. And to you, Mr. Imran, I give you the last word. What do you want to say to the people, and then you round up how we for solve this problem? How we for solve the problem? What are your take on all this? What thing we could do? What thing we could do for solve the problem? For try for ease the burden? What are the advice you will give to the people that they run the country?
Well, I just want to tell me Salone people they say we get for try for improve on certain cultures them we're lacking. And one of them, for let we continuously they engage with each other. Let we they talk. Let we they put we thoughts, we ideas then together. Make we try for agree, usa we agree, and usa we disagree. We continue for talk, for let we go get a resolution. That is no weakness. I can tell people that for say, it is always good for get a discussion than an argument. Argument is about ego. It's about who. Discussion is about what is right. Unalo we focus on the thing then we right. We go right so we picking them. We go right so we country. We go right for we economy. We go right for bread and butter issue. Not all about one person ego or one person own selfish interest. So this business here, we don't get consortium where people don't begin to talk. Like how me and my brother and you, my sister, when I the chair lady and this function today, we all from different backgrounds. Mr. Meziga, we all come under the same buffer. We don't talk. We not get any profanity. We not rule to each other. We agree where we able to agree, but we all get one passion. We na a true passion. We all like we country and want make it better. And if we want make that happen, then we continue for each at the same pan, so that we go able to watch pan back together and drink we mampama and say Sierra Leone is great again. God bless all man.
Thank you, Mr. Imran. And to you, Mr. Alan, what's in the last one? What you go left with? What's in the solution? What you think say you go advise the government for fix this problem, try for buffer this problem for we the people of Sierra Leone?
Thank you.
How we push to before.
Thank you very much, Madam Fadima. Me na a private sector person, and me na an activist, me na a human rights activist as well, a non-political figure. May advise to President Bio or the government of Sierra Leone, two advice or recommendation. President Bio need for look at the tax system critically. Therefore, look at the water key. Therefore, actually visit the tax system. Because the bank governor, I vividly remember 2 years ago, the bank governor been advised the government regard taxation on the local indigenous Sierra Leoneans. They are annoying. All this alala, what they alala, so ticket price they are high for come overseas come, feel this, that, all now because of taxation. Taxation and they kill Sierra Leoneans at the detriment of the people. And people they pay more tax, but not they see the effect of them tax than they. Because look at Freetown, one of the most dirty city in the sub-region where we don't see. Freetown dirty like Mabela support. Sorry for the language, but this is the fact. Guna Abacha, Shaka Stephen Street, Free Street, all them slabs them. They have been removed now toilet, then they use as public toilet. The city like this not get public toilet is a shame. 60 years old, we not get public toilet. All the people in the toilet and wet, then slab corner of the streets. Where are we heading for? So my advice to President Bio, with all the taxation where they collect, will not see anything out of them tax, and they will not see the effect. Kanto City Council, all them tax where they collect, will not see the effect on the capital city, neither the country generally. So may they look at the tax. They either reduce the tax or they make use of the tax, because the taxes are being increased, but we are not seeing the effect of the taxes on the people. And coming to the human rights side of it, we know where President Bioka been say they reduce all the lock all them pinol them. We see President Bio don't create new ministry, and one of the ministry where it creates, where we all glad for, the Ministry of Environment. But the Ministry of Environment, if we don't bet me, President Bio not create them. Recently, I recently passed a bill of the environment parliament. With all them bill and the way they pass, what is the effect of the Ministry of Environment, the Environmental Protection Agency? Let me take una quickly to Kono. Look at Kono. It's one of the most miserable districts in Sierra Leone. When they do all things what they call optia mining, government cannot control them. Government afraid that company more than all the other companies in Salone. Waiting go wrong. Is it that all the government where they can get share there? Now that make them not they touch them? They not they want know whether waiting and they do. Then they pan butcher Kono. Half of Kono is gone. Kimberlite mining. Then just they dig, broke people their houses. And you know they read any statement from government. What is happening with all the Ministry of Environment? Go to Tonkolili, the same thing. Go to Kabbalah, may you see the kind of mining the way they go on. The Chinese and just they pull all about. Well, they watch one video recently where the people that they water and they drink na so dirty. And according to the people them, that the miners them, then Chinese them. Then people that work off foreign direct investors, when they come for can mine. They are multinational companies, when they come for can mine, they no one know where see the people then they drink. No corporate social responsibility. They're not they upheld them. So waiting President Bio and in government they do when it comes to the environment, when it comes to actually looking at waiting there with miners and they do. We get the Ministry of Mines, we get the NMA, we get the EPA, and we get the Ministry of Environment. 4 solid, powerful institutions. Then their laws are there, but their laws are not working. Then the worst of it, the chairman waiting at Parliament for Mines. Now I been the chairman, and I been the mayor na Kono, we been the first with them company there. But why don't go to Parliament now? Himself, and no say himself go don't get a brown envelope and don't lock him out. He is no longer talking. He is no longer talking. He make a member of the Nigeria man where he say, where they interview. You used to talk, you were an activist. He say, yes, hey, when you don't have, you talk. But when you have, when you are eating, you don't talk. It look like saying that they happen with society. Most of the people that don't take political position, they are no longer talking because they are eating. When they were hungry, when they were not eating, they were talking. So, my advice to President Bio, now for begin to look at waiting there mining company they do. Kono is not well. Tonkolili, all is not well. Kabbalah, then district there what they call now this is
governments now.
Now my heart beat within districts there. Where is there they continue each time, most of the time what they do me audio, and they make mention of them 3 districts there. They are my heartbeats. They are my heartbeats. They are my heartbeats. Government need for look into most of them miners the way they need and then come places there. The timber will not for talk. Then just they destroy with timbers. But again, all of them team there. If government no for say and not get hands in them, it go take action. But me if it's a government get hands in, most of them think the way they happen. Because if you're not government, you see them they happen and they destroy you people and environment. You know they talk. Then the next way somebody go think about government is involved. Is it that government is partnering with bad people for destroying young people then? Think about it. Mr. Tuba Kumexke here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ala. That's why I love you. That's why I love you. I love you so much. Thank you again. And I hope we will come back for talk more, because we get for talk, we get for the Allah. Because Mr. Shilon, to you said the last word, because these people are under social contract. And if they're not a do waiting for do, we get for pull there and put other one. And if the other one then come back, they're not they do waiting and they do. We go continue for pull them till we get the right people them where they do waiting for do for change the people there. Like Mr. Shilon, to you, sir, what are your last word today?
Well, I think say one thing I would like for let we just talk about next time. Let we start explaining to the people and watching per diem means. Can I think the ordinary people and know we can just say per diem. They need to understand how much money they go in that direction there. But other than that, we've had very able guests them where their positions are very well taken. And I'm glad they were on the show. And I wish we will meet again so we go continue for express we concerned about the well-being of the country. Thank you.
Thank you all again to all me, the viewers them. I tell you, thank you for come week after week after week after week for can listen and join the conversation. And like how we all don't talk, this co-op thing, it is good to mobilize, it is good to have a coalition. But let me not say everybody where they work for the government or the person what they put in a power, they under social contract. Now we give them the work. Where they not do the work, where they write for we, where they not sabi for do the work, or where they look like they not get clue for do the work, we get for pull there and put other one. And that's why me are glad where they don't form this consortium of parties. But the intentions of the people that are together get for prepare for it to work. And we're not going to give up because we get hope. Once upon a time, there was one lady, I say her again, one lady, 400 years ago, slavery, they don't keep with people under slavery for long. One woman I begin to say, we cannot have this. We get for begin land under the dark of the night where the slave master they don't go. Then palamp, they begin learn and teach them complete they how for read and write. They begin escape with the they escape with the one by one for going at the other side where they get freedom. Let them self go understand freedom. Then begin make the movement started till the abolishment of slavery. You know it happens. One voice can change a room. We give them people as social contract. If they're not sabi waiting then they do. If they're not sabi for do the work, we cannot sit down all time with a crepe crow. Everything we are last. We are not improving. We are not getting better. And the thing says some of the after that when they give money to President Bill for do a year or the hospital we are glad when they say they want begin because Dr. Dembi will go free to I see it they make now accountability and everything. So some of these people you get good people among them that are doing good things and put the money outside the money for go. But we get for begin all them people they are accountable. They get for bring back that middle class. Economic, then get for hand to the private sector. They cannot have one set of people monopolizing it. They get forget different, they get forget competition. Because I can always see when we've been small, with people were business people. People let they go overseas and come back, they land book, then they into their departments they where they make you get business people. And I'm not talking about fana market business, not to say they're not being fana market. I'm talking about money was rolling. People had business, the middle class was there, the economy was good. We don't sit down with the yeri when we begin 1 Leone per 1 pounds. When I left Sierra Leone, I paid 9,000. Yes, inflation don't go everything and all that stuff. That we know that, but it is not getting any better. And some of you people are young, so when we talk, you don't understand. Yes, the young people are going to be, but you get to know the history for motivate you. Say, you know what? These people are under social contract. If they're not fixed with water, we get right for talk. If they're not able to give me good light, because we hear the problem of lights in Salone right now. And when you not get electricity, a country not get electricity, nobody, no one can do business with you. Because no factory no go can Salone. Because we infrastructure they all rotting. We're not able for sustain water. We're not able for when I was in class 6, they sent me to Bumbuna waterfalls, class 7. After common entrance, we went, that's 1977. We went to Bubuna. We go on a trip, they show we hydroelectric power. 30 days they're not able. First phase of Bubuna, I don't think they don't cross to second phase. Why can we not be able to sustain something? We go improve the life. Why can't we not go able for create an environment, create a country, create an economy where people can go able for live in dignity and decency? Why these people are under social contract? Let us remember that. Then we left for waiting and call. We see Fatima Bio, Mr. Shilon don't pay attention, but I do pay attention. But Fatima Bio don't go suck all the fat in body. He wearing clothes, the old Gucci bag, the waka, the show we. Okay, but you don't get it for you picking. You get extra for go fixing body, but you they cry every day. Are you picking the go? But yet you love her. I love her. She's a beautiful woman. I love her. See her in that blue. I was like, wow, she's beautiful. If only she can just tell me self a little bit. But you don't get it for it, but they fed for Fatima Bio. Fatima Bio get for come back na power. Samura Kamara get for come. ABC get for come. I said, who do not do the work, get for go. Other people then come. When they come back, then they under contract. When they not do the work, we get for begin think like that. For let me go before. Because when we begin hold their foot to the fire, they go begin do the work. But because we don't know say, them people are they under we then they work for, we they allow them for do any kind of thing, anything go. So till next week, we they come again for can talk on other issues. But you know, then they say for go vote. I want to encourage you now for register folks. We not get for register for vote because they don't come out with that. They say September 3rd to October 2nd. We were there at the diaspora. Some of we were there for go register for vote. We get for pay $2,000 for buy ticket for go there. How much people go able go? Now me say una at the diaspora not go able for go the tell way election day. They don't pull we commodity. Then we they try for negotiate, say how they go help we, let we self-register for votes in America. We can register for vote, then send we name day under. We for able for register for vote. We for able for vote, who say we dey. We for able begin build a system then we self na the diaspora, we self na part of Salone, we self na Sierra Leone. Let us don't allow the politicians to divide us. Diaspora versus home base. No, we are all Sierra Leoneans for the good of the country, for the good of the nation, for the good of the people. Till next week I say, let God bless we all. They want the way they fast. Let God give them the blessings of this holy month. The Christians, the Muslims, whatever you have desired. Go be your own beautiful. Go be your own you. Go make a difference. Go change somebody's life. Not sit down wait say na Fadima go do am, na Mr. Emma go do am, na Mr. Tuboko or na Mr. Shilon go do am. You self can do am. Not wait for person for do something. You get up and go. 1,000 miles begin with the first step. Take that first step. Take that first leap. But before you do that, search yourself and fix yourself. Because if you not fix yourself, if you are broken, you cannot help nobody else. So till next week, I love you all. If the sun they shine for me, not jealous me, go walk by yourself. Tomorrow, the cloud go over me, the sun they over you. Till next week, I love you all. And I say good night. God bless you all. Have a blessed and productive week. Fadima Amal, thank you. Good night.
Good night. Good night.